Jesse HD2 Laverne.
Bobby and Rex Road. Chase and Michelle.
Caroline, Willy, D-Mase.
Stone and Company.
Nashville's best sports talk.
Crank it up.
102.5 and 106.3.
Rank City scores. On both sides of the ball. One big possession. Touchdown, Middle Tennessee.
The Game.
A Cromwell media station.
Covering your teams and the news of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase.
Who is pleasant to listen to.
With Caroline Fenton, Willy Donick, and former NFL wide receiver Derek Mason.
You are hands down my favorite radio personalities of all time.
On 102.5 and 106.3, The Game and the Game Nashville app.
With no further ado,
happy Friday, everybody. Welcome into Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase. Willy Donick, Derek Mason here with you today, along with Nick Keyser, behind the glass. It's Friday. Caroline sliding down the order. I mean, she had to drop down a peg.
Yeah, she had to. Had to, that's what you do when you're great. You got to, go down and, come back up and do things you need to do to help out everybody,
She's filling in for Jared
She's
today.
versatile.
So she got sent to the minors. Yeah, she got sent to the minors for one day.
She's versatile, man. That's just how sometimes, you need help. You got to send down your best.
Yeah.
We
were texting her that she misses us.
Yeah,
she's already.
You're
going to miss us.
Yeah. And she misses us so much that I'm going to start it off like this, Nick. And this is how I'm going to start it off. Listen.
It is Friday.
I am terrified of elevators. You know why? And I'm going to say this, okay? I'm going to start taking the steps to avoid them. Yes! Ooh, 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 ooh. That's where he's going to go. And you know it. We starting off hot. Willie, I got him. He's laughing. Yes.
It's all about the presentation.
Yes.
It's all about the presentation.
Yes.
We've created a monster on Fridays on the show. And I don't think Caroline's fully aware of this.
Yeah.
Because she only got a little taste of it a couple Fridays
but
ago.
She's been off
She's
two
missed
Fridays.
the last
yeah.
two Fridays.
Yeah, we got it.
We've gone to a whole new level now.
Oh, yeah.
D-Mace's dad trivia on Fridays. And we invite you to join in and participate on this. You can pitch it if you want, but D-Mace is fine on his own. We know that. He is loaded. He is loaded.
And they have to be clean jokes. They have to be clean jokes, people.
Yeah, well, that's
clean
dad jokes have got to be no more than PG-13, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't go rated R.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No,
nope.
That's not a dad joke.
No, it's not. It's not a dad joke if you go rated R.
Did we say this on the air, or did I? I feel like I saw this after the show last Friday. A guy goes on Twitter. He said, "Do you know what really makes a dad joke?"
No, I think you did say it. It's like when you laugh or when your kids. No, you said it.
Well, that we kind of do it, but
yeah.
this was his thing. Okay. He said, when does a dad joke become a dad joke? It becomes apparent. No.
I like that one though, Willie.
That's pretty good.
I like it.
That's pretty good.
All right. I like the setup. I like the setup and everything.
But what if I'm adopted?
Man.
Okay.
We are on the roll.
We ask questions on this show.
Absolutely. All the time.
So, D-Mase, I'm a little sad. I'm back in the studio today.
Yes.
But you see the hat I'm sporting today. I'm representing the University School in Nashville.
Absolutely.
Our magical carpet ride came to a halt yesterday in Knoxville. A great program. Took us out, swept the doubleheader. We lost in the best of 3, 2-1. Really good team. They'll move on to the Final Four. So USN loses in the state quarterfinals. I think arguably it's the best USN baseball team of all time. It's not I said before, it's not a school known for baseball success. So it was a pretty special ride. We won games in extra innings. We won games in our last at bat. We won games facing elimination. So it was a tremendous ride. Great bunch of guys. Only 13 players on the team, 5 seniors. So I just want to salute them. I got the hat going today. So moving forward, but congratulations to that group. So I really enjoyed it. And what I thought about a lot, I just was thinking about the last couple nights, how much sleep I've lost just being excited, the stress, the butterflies, all that, just watching them. I don't know what it's like for parents watching their kids. If you're a parent, I got thinking about this. If you're a parent that can honestly just sit there and watch your kids play big games, and you kind of learn, you have to kind of condition yourself. Sometimes it's like harder when they're 7 or 8 years old than it is when they're in high school to some degree. Because you don't feel like you need to go tell them you got to do this.
Exactly.
Like when they're 8, you're like, you're doing it wrong. What are you doing? They let the coach. Don't yell at the refs. That you got to teach yourselves these things. Sometimes, like I feel like I'm better now than I used to be. I still have my moments, but if I really admire the parents who can sit there and watch the game when their kids are playing and not just get stressed or just get anxiety or pace around. People laugh at me because I'm pacing around and stuff like that. I'm like, it just tears me up inside.
Willy,
I can't do it.
I would advise
internally.
I would advise you to do this. This is what I did when DJ was younger and he played, middle school, and then subsequently gets up to high school. He was never really good enough to sort of be a major contributor in high school. And I was cool with that. But when he was playing in his younger days, I would purposely, I didn't want to sit next to everybody else. I didn't want to sit next to it. And there were probably like maybe 2 or 3 other dads, but really it was kind of like me and sort of off by myself because what I got used to hearing was when I would go with everybody else, I would hear all of this, do this, just screaming. And I'm thinking in my mind, one, those kids can't hear you. They cannot hear you. If they hear you, that means they're not paying attention to what's going on the field or the basketball court. Let them play, because if they do hear you, they're always looking up at you and not paying attention to what's going on. And there's a lot of complaining and this and that. So what I did was I removed myself from everybody, and I stood by myself majority of the time, and I just watched. I watched, arms folded, just watch, because I understand that if I say something to my son on the field, and if I get his attention, that means what? He's not
distracted.
He's distracted. And
I learned that a long time ago. I did learn that. I had my moments when both of my kids were younger, where I was really tempted to do that, like especially on the soccer field for my daughter. She's running by. And after a while, she would start calling me out. She'd look over and she'd say, "Dad, cut it out."
Exactly, because I'm trying to concentrate.
Yeah. And that once she did that once or twice, I was like, all right, I've learned my lesson. I can't do that.
I did it now. When my daughter ran track is different from anything else. Track, everybody is yelling and screaming, let's go, push. So it's normal for me at a track meet when my daughter was running to yell. I'm like, come on, baby, push, go, keep going. And I would yell at all the girls like, yeah, screaming. But when it came to like lacrosse, my daughter played for a minute. My son played lacrosse, soccer, stuff like that. It was like I just wanted to sit back and watch as a parent. Just watch it. And then once the game was over, then I would say something to my son like, hey, why do you do
process
this?
the game a little bit if he wants to do it. Yeah,
absolutely. But I would try my best to sort of refrain myself from young. You know why? Because I sit back at the edge of the gate when I played football in high school. They'll always sit back and just watch with their arms folded. They would just watch. But then afterward, my brother would say something to me, this and that.
You kind of go through it if you want. Yeah.
But they never was like, when I'm coming off the sideline, no. Like, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Like, just play.
I hope I learned that a long time ago. For me, the thing that goes on now, I wanted to see success for the guys so badly. And when Evie, they had a great soccer team too, so they had a similar run. You just get so amped up for the game and stressed, not because you want to yell at them or anything, but you just want them to break through. So
exactly.
it consumes me. I'm always thinking about it. I sit up and I go, I hope maybe so-and-so will score a goal tomorrow. Like maybe she'll have a really good game. Or hey, maybe this guy will step up. It just goes crazy. So
as a parent, it's in you. And those are the things like, especially if you
And I'm
played
like
that
sitting
sport.
there. I'm sitting there like at 1 a.m. going, "Why am I doing this? Why just go to sleep? Turn your brain off."
Like
man.
the kids will sleep. They ain't worried about
I'm
it.
not playing.
So did
I'm
you
not
guys?
playing.
Did you guys ever have like parent fights that you witnessed? Because I saw those a lot playing hockey actually here.
Well, I mean that's the sad part.
I've
I haven't
seen
seen that in a
arguments.
long time.
I've
That's
seen,
all. That's
I
a
have not
separate
seen
issue.
fights. I've seen arguments.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm thinking, like, why? And I would always think to myself, like, why are y'all yelling at the refs like that? Or why are y'all yelling at these players? Like, let them play. Let them, and then afterwards,
Right.
talk to
Don't
them.
get in the way.
Yeah,
Don't get in the way.
It was. I mean, my dad would come to the games a lot, but sometimes I didn't realize he was at the game because he would just be by him, like just standing somewhere in the corner and just watch from afar, or my brother stand, and I would sometimes, did y'all come to? Yeah, we were there. Don't worry about it. We were there.
Yeah.
We saw you. We saw everything. But they didn't feel the need to interject themselves into what I was doing. It was like, I'm not going to make you bet. Me yelling to my kid on the sideline what to do and what not, that's not going to make him better. It's not. Just let him play, and then once he comes off the field, once the game's over, once the coach has said what he said or she said, then you come over, and if they want some advice or you see something, say, hey, did your coach mention this, or why were you doing this? And if they're receptive to it, then okay. But if they kind of like, kind of shun you a little bit, then maybe as a parent, you need to wait a while.
And I think the younger you go, the tougher that is.
Exactly.
The more of an issue that is. In high school, I think most of the parents have learned
just leave it
what
alone.
not to do.
Because they'll kick you out. In high school, they kick you out.
Yeah, no question. And so I feel like we had a really good group of parents, but we were all together for all these. We went west last weekend. We went east. We've gone all over the place, and we've been through the emotional ringer. So it got really emotional.
I'm sure
yesterday, but I mean, is it worth it? Yeah, it's all worth it.
Of
But
course.
it's amazing to go through it, and you do have to stop sometimes and look at yourself in the mirror and go, just take a deep breath, calm down a little bit. It's okay. Whatever happens. Just they're doing their best.
Exactly.
And go with it. Just go with it.
These kids are not purposely going out there and doing bad.
Of course not.
You know, things happen.
And you celebrate. And one thing I try to remind myself too is enjoy the moment too.
Exactly.
Don't stress so much where you're like,
because you're not enjoying the
and then
game.
you win the game. You're like, oh, you're relieved more than celebrating. You should
Exactly.
celebrate the good stuff. You know.
It's just the things you hear in stands during games. It's ridiculous. It's just like downright ridiculous. It's like, okay, if your son or daughter was up in these stands, would you want them to say the things that you're saying? Probably not. So don't say it. So, but I get it. Some parents they're invested because of the time they put in. They love their children. They love that the kids that are playing with their children. They've gotten to know all of those kids, and it sort of feels like they're part of you anyway because you've gotten to know them through your kids. So you're cheering and you're yelling and you're screaming. So I get it, but I would just continue. But you're done now.
We're done. Yeah.
Yeah, you're done.
And I'll say this too. We there's some really good programs around here. Max Hers and I are going to be calling the championship games for this division next Thursday. Whoever makes it to the championship game. But I've seen a lot of the other fan bases, and I will say this: we went through the whole season with some really tight games. It's balanced. There's a lot of good teams. I did not see one incident that I can think of. I did see one coach get thrown out of a game, and that got everybody kind of riled up. But other than that, like there was no back and forth, bad taunting back and forth. So I felt really good about that. I'm not saying I've never seen it at any level, but this season for sure was a good season. So I like that. So congratulations to all the teams. If you're just out there as a parent and your son or daughter's still playing in the spring fling, I know it all comes to a head next week in Murfreesboro. Yes. It's really fun. I mean, everybody descends upon it. So congratulations, and just stop and smell the roses for a while. Just enjoy the ride as much as you can, as stressful as it is. And I know you're out there, you're staying up, and you're like, I know, Willie. I was up till 1 o'clock last night. I couldn't sleep. So good stuff. All right, when we come back, D-Mase is on a ride right now with his Lakers. They're down 2-0 in the best of 7 to the Nuggets. Series shifting back to L.A. We're going to talk to D-Mase about it. We got a lot going on the show today. We're going to ask D-Mase at 12:30. We're going to talk NHL playoffs. We're going to touch on a couple of Titans topics as well. Great show planned for you. Stay tuned. Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase cranking up here on 102.5 The Game.
Every day we are live and local.
Blown out in one game against a team that's just flat out better than you.
And your source for Nashville sports.
How many needs are you going to create for yourself this offseason?
We are Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Start your savings journey now. A strong savings strategy creates financial stability, leading to more opportunity for you and the people who count on you. At F&M Bank, our savings accounts help you save easily, plan for expenses, and prepare for whatever comes your way. Life is complicated. Banking shouldn't be. Come see us at one of our branches or online at myfmbank.com. F&M Bank, banking made easy on purpose. Member FDIC.
Join the Nashville Area Chamber of Commerce on June 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th for an exclusive look into what makes Nashville the IT city. Whether you're new to town or a Nashville native, Intro Nashville gives you the opportunity to become engaged and connected to our city's community. During this multi-day immersive program, you'll hear from over 20 community leaders and industry experts whose storytelling unlocks a comprehensive view of our city and region. Gain historical and economic perspective on Nashville while establishing relationships with local business leaders. Space is limited. Register now at intronash.com.
Looking for a big diamond? Genesis Diamonds introduces our Elite Collection, all new for this year. These are large, rare diamonds in the top 1% of the world. 3 carat, 4 carat, 5 carat, up to 10 carat precious diamonds for the most discriminating buyers who appreciate quality. Genesis owners travel worldwide, tapping a vast network of diamond cutters, carefully hand-selecting each of these remarkable diamonds. We invite you to view this premium collection of GIA-certified diamonds, rounds, cushion cuts, emerald cuts, even fancy colored diamonds in size and quality never before seen here. And to showcase these exquisite stones, only Genesis has the finest handcrafted rings from all the world-class designers. If this is the year you're upgrading her original diamond, or you just want to go big for the first time, no need to travel to New York or Los Angeles or Antwerp. Genesis Diamonds' elite collection of large, precious diamonds is here in Nashville. Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolexes, Green Hills and Cool Springs.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Anyone want to tell me what happened?
Did you miss any of today's show?
It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry.
Subscribe to the Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase podcast on Apple, Spotify, and other podcast platforms, or by going to thegamenashville.com.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
This is Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
I think a lot of our guys, to be honest, they may not admit this or not. You win game 1 of the playoffs, and all everybody talked about was the Lakers. Let's be honest. That was a national narrative was, hey, the Lakers are fine. They're down 1-0, but they figured something out. No one talked about Nikola just had a historic performance. He's got 13 triple-doubles now, 3rd all-time. What he's doing is just incredible, but the narrative wasn't about the Nuggets. The narrative wasn't about Nikola. The narrative was about the Lakers and their adjustments. So, you put that in your pipe, you smoke it, and you come back, and you know what? We're going to go up 2-0.
That's Denver head coach Mike Malone. That's the voice of a coach right there. The hoarseness.
Yes.
He's been yelling and screaming at the refs all night at his team.
All day.
17,000 or however many that place holds. Great building there. Used to be called the Pepsi Center. Now it's Ball Arena, which makes perfect sense for basketball.
Yeah.
Ball Arena. When the Avalanche are playing, it doesn't make as much sense. We're playing in Ball Arena. That mean we're using the old street hockey balls, the plastic orange ball that we used to have? No. But the Lakers fall for the second straight time against Denver, who is the 1 seed. It is interesting, and I see Mike Malone's narrative there is, hey, look, the spotlight is always going to be on L.A. It's Showtime. It's LeBron, the superstars. But how about a little love for Denver? They are kind of unknown for a team that has been pretty solid for the most part the last 3 or 4 years. They've been hanging around in the mix. This is a great chance for them to break through. But, D-Mase, you hear that quote, you think what?
You should have just left it alone, because it's not like – I think Malone has selective hearing. Because at the end of that first game, what was everybody talking about? Jokic and his performance, his triple-double. It was everywhere. They even put up
Oscar
Robinson and Wilt Chamberlain and Shaquille O'Neal, all these great players. He's in the company of those players, what he's been able to do, not just in his postseason, but during the season in general. So they talk so much about Jokic, the Joker, and how are the Lakers going to match up with the Joker, and his presence not just on the offensive end, but getting defensive rebounds, pushing the ball up the court. Jamal Murray and how much of an assassin he is from the outside, meaning the 3-point, inside the 3-point. His mid-range game is awesome. Him coming off those picks and burying those 2s and 3s. They talked a lot. They talked about Brown, how he came off the bench in the first game and how aggressive he was in his offensive play. They talked so much about Denver, but they brought up the obvious. When Darvin Ham made the adjustments to put Hachimura on Jokic, things changed. Jokic slowed down. And that's all they were saying, that Darvin Ham made those adjustments in the second half that put them in a position to give them an opportunity to win, because they were getting blown out the water at one point.
But I can see how you're – now, the question is, should he say it publicly? Because you know how that's going to play. You always take the risk of having the roll up your pipe and put that in your pipe and smoke it. That's going to be on the wall of the locker room. You know that's happening. But I do see his point that when you flip on the national shows, it's always going to start about LeBron and the Lakers, because it's a big market. It's the superstar, one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of all time, trying to win it one more time. That's where it centers on. It's no different than when Jordan was at the forefront. Of course. When you were the Jazz, or one of the teams trying to knock off the Bulls, you didn't see it as much. For the discussion was gonna not center on the other team as much as it was going to be on Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
Exactly.
Right? And this is no different.
Yeah, and you're right.
And he's sitting there going, "We're the 1 seed," and I got the guy that's been putting up triple doubles every night. But that's just the nature of the market and the way the game works.
And he's absolutely right. But what he doesn't realize is that just as much as they were talking about, because everyone picked Denver to win this series. Just about everyone picked Denver to win it, whether it be in 6 or 7. I think most people had them in 7 to win this series. So this is where it sort of gets funny. These coaches say they don't listen to nobody and they don't pay attention to the noise.
Oh,
and
yes,
all
they do.
But then they bring up – it's like they got this in their back pocket, and players do it too. Hell, I did it. Like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to put this in my back pocket, and I'm going to use it when I need to use it. Well, you don't use it after the second game. You use it after probably either you got them 3-1 or you got them 3-0. And you're about to close it out.
Do you
then
think it
you
helps
sort of pull it out your pocket?
If you were a member of the Nuggets, would you say, okay, I like Coach. He's putting a chip on our shoulders. Like he's trying to. I think he's trying to make it. Hey, we're underappreciated. They don't think you're any good. We're getting a lack of respect. The lack of respect card seems to play well in the locker room more often than not.
Yeah, but
that's what he's trying to do. I think
it would be a lack of respect if that was actually true. It's not true. If you watch these national shows, whether it be ESPN, Fox, whatever, they are picking Denver to win the series. They are picking it to go 6 or 7, more like 7, but everyone is picking Denver. Why? Because Denver plays, I think they haven't lost a game at home in the playoffs. Neither have the Lakers. So they're figuring, based upon the math, the last game is where? Denver. So they figure Denver will win. this series based upon that. So Denver has been getting a lot of love. Maybe not necessarily during the season, but Jokic has. Hell, he was at one point he was the leader in the clubhouse as far as MVP. That would have made a 3-time MVP. You can't tell me you don't have the 2-time MVP and you're not getting recognized. You are getting recognized, but maybe not as much as you may think you should, or like you said, Willie, you just use it as I'm just going to throw that out there just to get my team ramped up a little bit more. Hey, guys, we're the underdogs. When in actuality, you're really not the underdogs. You're the favorite to win this series. In all betting realms, you're the favorite to win this series. So I just look at it from this standpoint. As a head coach, the players are not going to say anything. As a head coach, you have to make sure that you do not give the Lakers, even though that was not directed toward the Lakers, you do not want to give the Lakers any fuel whatsoever. Just continue to play your game. Continue to let Jokic dominate the way he's been dominating. If Murray continues to dominate, if Brown continues to come off the bench and do what he has been doing, it's hard to beat this Nuggets team because of the way they run up and down the court. Now, they're going back to L.A. It's going to be a different story, I believe. I got L.A. taking both games, which would tie the series up 2-2. But in order for that to happen, LeBron can't go over in the fourth period in regards to three-point shooting. The last 2 games or 3 games, he hadn't hit a three-pointer in the fourth quarter.
He's missed his last 19 threes in the fourth quarter. That's a weird
And some of them
stat.
have
That's
been lazy.
un-LeBron-like.
Like the first game, when he came down and shot that 3 when Murray was on him, instead of taking the ball to the basket, he chose, it was a bailout 3, and it wasn't a good shot. So now you do that. Now you put your team in a disadvantage. As great as LeBron is, he has to know that you can't take that shot, especially when you have a smaller Murray on you. Take it to the basket. You either get an and one, or you get a layup, or you get the foul, and you're going to the free throw line. But this Laker team, last night, because I think the problem here is this. AD, they need to find a way to get Tristan Thompson in the game I'm not talking about from scoring. He just need to be another big body. If you watch the Lakers and the way they beat Jokic and them 2 years ago, they had 3 big bodies. JaVale McGee, they had AD, they had Superman. He's in China now playing. Why am I forgetting the center from Orlando? He started off on
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, Dwight Howard. Yeah. They had Dwight Howard. So they had 3 big bodies to throw. Yeah, he called himself
That's right.
3 big bodies to throw at Jokic. They don't have that this year. They have really 2, but Hachimura can play him, but he can only do so much. That's why they got to find a way to get Tristan Thompson in, just to be a big body on him, just to bang him around. If you watch the coverage, you got to stop Jokic. AD cannot try to get a defensive rebound and then stop Jokic from running down the court. If he and Jokic are battling for a rebound, if Jokic gets it, Jokic is gone. Who's behind him? AD's behind him. Somebody has to stop the basketball. The Lakers has the worst transition defense in the playoffs right now. They can't stop you, myself, and staff member Nick. Okay?
Is Nick on skates?
Probably so.
I have no more comment to that.
But
all right,
that's how bad their transition defense has been against the Denver Nuggets.
All right, when we come back, I want to throw something at D-Mase, too, about Jamal Murray. It is really something what he did last night, but this is maybe a bigger issue, too. But we've got a lot more coming. We're going to talk Titans this hour as well. Stay tuned. You're listening to Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase here on 102.5 The Game.
The NFL offseason is in full swing, but you'll never miss any of the big news. Thanks to Yahoo's Charles Robinson.
They know that there's a chance that they're going to have to deal this guy.
He's one of the best insiders there is.
All of a sudden, he becomes a functional player who we thought was just trash.
Join Charles Robinson every Thursday morning at 8 on Robbie and Rex Road, presented by the NFL Alumni Association on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Family Leisure's 31st Memorial Day sale.
DIY pools start at just $19.99. 24-foot pools are only $29.99 installed. 6 months, same as cash.
Great prices on spas and hot tubs. The Cypress Spa by Strong is only $29.99.
I want some new patio furniture. Family Leisure has hundreds of sets on sale.
The Sabre Infrared Grill starts at only $11.99. Complete Bull Grill Island start at only $39.99. Installed with a Sabre grill head. Tanning beds, pool tables, massage chairs on sale now.
Family Leisure, 2 huge locations, Antioch and Franklin.
Whether you're popping the question or ready to say I do, there's only one true jeweler to shop for your one true love. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. As a true jeweler, we not only have luxury designer collections to meet your bridal needs, but we also have talented in-house designers who can create something truly one of a kind. For more than 75 years, our expert staff has been caring for couples just like you and providing the absolute lowest prices guaranteed. Visit us at the Diamond Cellar in Green Hills. The possibilities are endless.
Do you love sports, and are you passionate about helping local businesses and your community grow? Hey, it's Chase McCabe, and let me tell you, the best attributes of working with us on our sales team at 102.5 The Game include the ability to build relationships with local businesses, craft effective advertising campaigns, and the potential for high earnings. If you have excellent communication skills, think creatively, and have the drive to succeed, just shoot us an email with your resume at together@cromwellmedia.com. That's together@cromwellmedia.com.
Nashville's best deal of the week is Bavarian Beer House at Opry Mills. Bavarian Beer House, Nashville's only authentic German beer hall, is full of fun, food, music, and most importantly, beer. Enjoy traditional German bratwurst, schnitzel, giant pretzels, and more in an Oktoberfest-inspired space. Visit BeerHouseNashville.com for their live music schedule. Get a $50 gift card for half off right now at TheGameNashville.com/deals while supplies last.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air, in a public place, in front of your kids, and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using Stem mosquito repellent is the right way. Stem effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants, like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. Stem, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
Isn't it nice to get exactly what you want? Introducing the new My Plan from Verizon. Control what goes into your phone plan and what stays out of it. And now, get the amazing iPhone 14 Pro on us when you switch with Select Trade-In and Unlimited Plus. Get iPhone 14 Pro with My Plan at your Verizon store today. It's your Verizon. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line required. $200 Verizon e-gift card sent within 8 weeks with port-in. Less up to $800 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions and additional terms apply.
Go, guys, a wrister. Score! The Predators of tomorrow continue in the AHL playoffs with Game 4. Admirals and Stars starts at 6, then check out Game 1 of the Western Conference Final as the Dallas Stars head to Vegas.
On your home for Smashville, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, this is Philip Forsberg. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Good tune on a Friday here. People are getting into the dad jokes. By the way, our phone and text line, you can always jump in here with a comment, question, and we've got to ask D-Mase coming up at 12:30. That's going to be good. But it's all driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. So people were liking the early round of dad jokes. There'll be more coming here. We got Ken in Waverly. He says, dad joke, what's blue and not very heavy?
I don't know.
Light blue. Okay, Ken.
I like that one.
Coming at you from Waverly. Ken coming in from the outside of Waverly.
You know what?
Waverly, Tennessee, home of the A-Train, Austin Bates, great player for Vanderbilt, and a teammate of mine, Todd Milholland.
There we go.
Back in the day. Good hoops played in Waverly. We're talking hoops here.
Yeah.
So you got another one?
Yeah. I mean, listen, there are a bunch of things you just can't trust in this world. I'll tell you one thing you cannot trust, atoms. They make up everything.
Just when I think you've said the stupidest thing ever, you keep talking.
That was a good one. Come on, man.
It reminds me of a great 80s movie from back in the day, Revenge of the Nerds, Adams College, home of the Adams.
Nothing is over! Nothing
doing?
All right, let's go.
Oh boy! All right, so I got one more thing I want to bring up from the hoops. I got to. This is an NBA appreciation moment here. We're going to talk NHL a little bit later too. Check in on what's going on over there. But Jamal Murray and the way they put on here's what I could never do real well. If I was off, if my shooting was off for the first half of a game, if I missed my first few, it was hard for me to get it back going. I was thinking more, okay, I got to drive tonight. My shot's off. I got to drive. I got to get to the free throw line. Maybe I'm more of a passer. I try to find different ways to score. And, because in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, my coach is going to start saying, stop jacking them up. You're not making them. Right? So Jamal Murray, last night, he's kind of having a rough game for the first half, 2.5 quarters. But, man, when the game was on the line, he started making some absolute daggers. Step backs, off the screen, drive in, step back, all net. Like they went on that run where it's anybody's game about midway through the third, and then he hit most of them, but a couple other guys hit some too. But I'm so impressed by that and the degree of difficulty that these guys shoot the threes. It's not like these guys are just spotting up, catching it, nobody's guarding them wide open. These guys are off the dribble, reading defense, full speed, stepping back. It's amazing how the game has evolved. You start asking questions like, why are all these games, and a lot of times 115 to 120 points each night for each team? That's kind of it. Like, everybody can shoot, and everybody can shoot not just at the three-point line, wide open, but they're shooting. If you're not right in, like, how many times do you see Davis? Maybe he gets switched to him. AD, he's a great shot blocker. Remember him at Kentucky? He blocked everything. Yeah, you couldn't get a shot off. He was the leading shot blocker in the country, and so he's got length. But it doesn't matter. He could be right there, and he's not really bothering the shot. There's one right there. Murray hit one of the biggest shots of the game right there. The hand is up. It's not like it's bad defense. This guy's – how tall is Davis? Is he officially 7? Is he 6'11"?
Yeah, 6'11".
But his wingspan is unbelievable.
He's about 9 feet tall with his wingspan.
He's right there. And they make him.
Like Mark Jackson say, hand down, man down.
Yeah.
But usually your hands are up, and their hands are up, and it's still man down.
I am getting old, right? But when I started playing high school ball, there was no three-point line. And when I was a junior, they put it in high school. So this was right around when college did, mid to late 80s. So when I got to Vanderbilt, the three-point line was still relatively new. And we were pretty much taught, don't take the step back. Like, let's set the screens, let's work the defense, and let's have the guy, you want to hit a three-point shooter catching with his feet set, stepping into it. That's the ideal three. It's incredible to me now how routine it is for the step-back three. Well, from the NBA range, 23.5.
It's a part of their, a part of the teaching now, I believe, that whole step back and then a Euro step and everything else. It's a part of how they play now. So when we look at it, we're like, man, that's a difficult shot. Like, I was never taught to, get the ball right at the edge of the 2 to the 3. You step back to 3 and then shoot it. You're always taught, you get it. If you're at the 2, you either want to drive or take it right there. You don't want to go back to take a three-pointer. Well, the numbers state if you go back and the data or whatnot, it states that you rather shoot that 3 than that long 2.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why, guys
Rick Pitino was one of the first to really exploit that and say, you know what? We shouldn't be shooting shots from just inside the three-point line.
Exactly. Why not? You might as well take a step back.
Just get back there,
and shoot that 3, because if you make it, it's 3 points. If you miss it, okay. But if you miss the 2, it's like if the team comes down to hit a 3 now, what's the deal?
Absolutely. So you're way more trained to get up more threes, right? Shoot more threes. But now the guys practice it. They practice the step back.
Of course, yes.
Like, not. You're going to run me off the line. No, you're not. I'm just going to step in. I'm going to slide back, slide over. That little. Porter does it really well. Plus, the guy's 6'11".
Yeah,
they're shooting. Jokic can shoot him.
You got a 6'11", and that's what makes it so difficult. That's why I try, to explain when I'm talking to Jared about AD and how important AD is to the Lakers and that AD needs to be the best player. I never said he was the best player on the team. I said he needs to be the best player. Why? Because when you're 6'11" and can shoot like AD can shoot, you pose a problem when defenses, whether it's pick and roll, whether it's ISO, AD standing in the corner. Back in the day, if a 6'11" guy was standing in the corner, you just waved him off like, forget him. I'm going to sink down to the middle and stop anything driving. Well, with AD and Jokic, when they're on those ends or at the top of the key, you can't do that. You got to honor them shooting that three-pointer. That's why AD, just like Jokic, if Jokic is not putting up the numbers that he's putting up, and I know Murray's important, but if Jokic is not putting up those numbers and getting that matchup problem, Denver is not winning this series. Hell, Denver is not in this position. But because of Jokic being 6'11" and can shoot from just about anywhere on the court. And not only can shoot, Willie, he passed like a point guard.
Yeah.
So he poses a matchup problem. AD has the same skill set. That's why if the Lakers are to win this series, AD has to be the best player on the court. Not taking anything away from LeBron James. LeBron would tell you, in order for us to win, AD has to be the dominant force. It's just the way it is. 6'11", can shoot from anywhere on the court. That's a matchup problem for anybody.
No question. So anybody that tells you there's no defense being played in the NBA.
Oh, there's defense being played, but these guys just shoot so well.
That's the thing. It's there, but there's this image of these guys are loafing. They're not trying on defense. That is the furthest thing.
You try going out there covering 6'11".
You and I were talking about during the break the pick and roll. Okay, the pick and roll is being set way further out than it used to be. It's not at the elbow.
No.
Right? You don't have a bunch of people in the lane. You've got everybody spread out. So if the guy dives to the basket, it's a dunk, right? So you got to respect that. And you got both the shooter and the big man who's setting the screen, usually capable of shooting the three. You got to guard both of those. And you got the drive. So the pick and roll, when it's run really well, is just so hard to guard, and it's harder than it's ever been before to guard because it's further out. There's more space on the court. Watch a game from the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the lane.
It's compacted, yeah.
That's not happening anymore.
There's a reason why the Golden State Warriors, beside, and I understand you have the Splash Brothers. I ain't putting Poole in with the Splash Brothers. He's not a Splash Brother, okay? When you Clay and Steph, those two guys, I understand that the bulk of the points are coming from them, and then you add KD. But the reason why they were winning championships was because they're bigs, whether it's 6'11" KD or 6'10" Draymond Green. They can pick and pop. They can pick and roll and shoot to the basket. If they don't shoot to the basket, they step behind the three-pointer and shoot a three-pointer. So what did you have to do as a defense? You could never take a break. You had to guard everybody on the perimeter. They didn't have this. They didn't have it this year. Draymond wasn't shooting three-pointers like he usually shoot. Mooney is not a three-point shooter. So the Lakers, what did AD do? AD just sloughed off and played the middle of the court. If you're going to win championships nowadays, you got to have that ability to pick and pop with that big guy, or that big guy has the ability to shoot that three-pointer. Golden State didn't have it this year. That's one of the reasons why they lost.
Series to L.A. We'll see how that goes. Game 2, Heat already have a road game under their belt in Boston. Boston has to try to even it up tonight. When we come back, we'll have our Titans first Titans question of the day. And today, just so you know, on Friday, we're taking a break from Will Levis. Okay, we have analyzed backwards and forwards Will Levis.
I'm sure
it's going to come back up.
Even though I did hear some interesting stuff from staff member Nick and Michelle this morning, and then Jarrett, Ian yesterday about the quarterbacks and how they ranked them. And I just kind of, if I had hair, I would have pulled it out, but I don't. And I'm just grabbing my head and just shaking my head like, y'all serious.
We'll get back to it.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little bit of a break, but we are going to ask a related Titans question. It's all connected, right? But that's coming up next here on Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
We are Nashville's best sports talk, live and local from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. When you want the national Hey.
I got this. I'll take it from here.
Okay, go ahead. Dying to hear this.
We have the best national voices that you'll find anywhere.
Who was more deserving of being thrown from their game?
I'm odd, so I get the odd picks.
They have a new coaching staff.
It's not a bad scenario for them.
We are 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
And 94.9 The Fan.
Gear up for spring at Coleman Tractor Company with Kubota zero turns and subcompact tractors in stock now and ready to work. Mow, dig, haul, and lift with the Kubota BX23S tractor loader backhoe. Now through June 30th, save up to $2,500 on BX23S models. Visit Coleman Tractor in Paris, Clarksville, Nashville, and White House today. Now through June 30th. See KubotaUSA.com for more information.
Music City will be rocking June 23rd through the 25th with a different sound, the sound of NASCAR.
Start your engine!
The Ally 400 is back at Nashville Superspeedway, and this year, it's a night race. NASCAR in Nashville. It's guitars and fast cars under the lights. Visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com to get your tickets for the triple header weekend, including the Ally 400, Tennessee Lottery 250, and the Rackley Roofing 200 today.
Keep listening to 102.5 The Game for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Dave Matthews Band at Bridgestone Arena Friday, May 26th, courtesy of Green Trees Company Dispensary. Listen for your cue to text to win DMB tickets from The Game and our friends at Green Trees Company Dispensary.
20 years ago, when Genesis Diamonds came to Nashville, this was one of the most expensive cities in America for diamond jewelry. Our radical approach and no middleman pricing changed that forever. And now we're doing it again, this time with lab-grown diamonds. We were shocked to find out what the other mall stores and the other big radio advertisers were charging. They sell their platinum 4-carat VS2 lab-grown earrings for $15,720. We sell them for $6,900. Their 3.08 carat lab-grown round diamond with G-Color VS2 clarity is $10,045. We sell it for $5,900. Looks like they might be going back to the old ways. If they're charging this much on lab-grown diamonds, kind of makes you wonder what else they're selling at the same outrageous markup. Nashville, we are not going backwards. At Genesis Diamonds, our non-commissioned trusted advisors are here to give you all the information with details you can trust and prices you can count on. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Social Furniture's huge Memorial Day sale is now underway. You'll find your dream furniture on sale now at up to 70% off. Sectionals start at $7.99. Sofas from $4.99. Name brand queen mattresses start at $2.99. Complete bedroom sets from $11.99. Buy now and pay later with special financing for up to 48 months. Enjoy hassle-free same-day delivery and setup. Hurry in. Once these deals are gone, they're gone. Shop Social Furniture because of the way you are treated.
They talk sports.
The Predators get the 2 points, which is obviously what they needed.
They're not making big moves that are jaw-dropping signings in free agency.
They talk life.
Well, I almost just fell down the stairs, so there's that.
My backpack was so heavy, the seatbelt alarm was going off the entire trip.
But most of all, they have a good time.
You're there.
Yeah.
Chase and Michelle, weekday mornings at 9 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Having some fun in the midday.
Okay, that's really fun.
This is Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase.
It's a good source of energy because it's live.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. 'Cause here we are back where we were before.
Okay, I gotta ask, like, what's the story behind this? Staff member Nick on the DJ. Was this a request by you, D-Mase?
No, it wasn't a request by me.
Well, I thought we were going to go back into Will Levis just one more time.
Just once. Yeah, this song does not apply to Will Levis because this is not a guy you talk about just once. It's going to be a full summer thing, the Titans quarterback situation. But we're taking a break, okay? Mm-hmm. We're taking a break today in our game studio sponsored by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. And remember, you can always watch us streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook Live every day. Our video streaming brought to you by Superbook. Download their app today and use promo code THEGAME. Now, D-Mase, you got a question of the day that we're going to apply here to the offense for the Titans. Now, you can't say the obvious, right? But we're looking for two guys that would make such a difference if they had breakout seasons, right?
Yeah, because I think every year when we go into the season, we sort of look at, the roster. And I'm as a head coach and a GM, this is what you do as well. You look at this roster and you try to find the best 11 guys on offense and the best 11 guys on defense to try to how can we put the best 11 on the field and get the most out of them. And then what do you expect? Because each year we have these exit interviews with the head coaches, and they assess your whole season, and they bring you in the office and say, hey, listen, either, if you're that borderline guy, hey, listen, we're thinking about bringing you back, or say you're a free agent, this upcoming year. We're thinking about bringing you back. We don't know. We'll talk to your representative. We like what you've been doing or whatever. But then they also say, listen, these are the things that you need to get better at. These are the things that we feel as a coaching staff you need to work on to make you a better player, which in turn makes us a better team. So all of that goes on. And then obviously the player goes into the offseason and he works on those said things that the coaches are talking about. And you just hope that coming back the next following year, they listen to what you said, they worked on those things, and then those things ultimately show on the field. So for me, the Tennessee Titans, and I only wanted to pick two people on offense and defense. And it can't be the obvious.
So later in the show, we're going to do defense.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're going to try to go away from the obvious, right?
Exactly.
Obviously, if Derrick Henry
ran
for
Ryan
2,000 yards.
Tannehill had 4,000 yards passing. Yeah, we get that. I understand that part. That's the obvious.
But we know that there are some big question marks on this offense that if a couple guys could break out, it would be a huge difference maker. It could really be a game changer. So, all right, so who comes to mind for you? I've got the guy on my list that I believe is number one. I think you tell me you're number one.
I think number one for me is Andre Dillard. I think he has to have a huge – for this reason. Now I can have the best five on the field because you drafted Peter Skoronski at the 11th pick. So you consider him one of your best players. You hope that it is so. So if we go out, we got Andre Dillard. We want to plug him in at the left tackle. We want to plug Peter in at the right guard, and then you have the center. Then so forth and so on. Brunskill at the left guard.
It might slot everybody perfectly.
Yeah,
if Dillard ends up being the answer.
If Dillard ends up having that breakout season, now everyone I believe gets to play their natural positions. Nobody is out of position, even though I do believe Peter can play tackle if need be, but I do believe his best position, the position you will get the most out of him, the position he will be an all-pro, Pro Bowler at for many years is the guard position. So if Andre Dillard, to me, can solidify that left tackle position, now I could throw Skoronski in at right guard. Now I can put Aaron Brewer at center and Brunskill at right tackle, and Nicholas Brunskill at right guard, Nicholas at right tackle. Now I had the best five. Nobody's out of position. Last year, Brewer was out of position at guard. He shouldn't have been playing guard. Now he slides over to what I believe is his natural position at center. You put Peter in at guard, which I believe is his natural position. Can he play the tackle position and probably be successful? Yes, but I think if you want to have the best offensive line, Dillard's at tackle, Peter's at guard, Brewer's at center, Brunskill's at guard, and Nicholas at tackle. That, to me, will allow this offense to flourish, allow this run game or this passing game to take another step. They weren't able to take that step. Why? Last year they had injuries, and that offensive line wasn't good. Guys were playing out of position on that offensive line. Again, Brewer shouldn't have been a guard. Dennis Daly shouldn't have been a tackle.
That was a full-on oil leak.
Exactly. So now if Andre Dillard, to me, steps up and has that season that many in Philadelphia thought he was going to have because they drafted him in the first round, then now he allows everyone to go into their natural position. in that offensive line to play better. I'm sure that's what the Titans are hoping as well.
Yeah, I think that's a great one because if you could boil it down to one player, Dillard might start the dominoes and set everybody, as they like to say a lot of times, the correct seat on the plane.
Exactly.
Right?
Absolutely. You don't
You're
want
in your right seat.
You don't want to have somebody, playing, and they may do well, but you just know in your mind that this isn't their natural position.
Certain guys should be driving the bus.
Exactly.
Certain guys should be sitting on the back of the bus.
Absolutely.
Certain guys should be sitting on the front of the bus, right? It's just got all.
Absolutely.
And some guys are in the wrong seat. It can make for a bad trip.
Some guys shouldn't be on the bus.
It's a bad trip. Some guys should not be allowed on the bus. Okay? All right, my number one guy, and this is not going to surprise a lot of people, but I do think that Okonkwo, a true breakout season. Okay? I'm not talking about flashing, hey, Okonkwo, man, he's pretty good when he gets the ball out in the open field. You can, what I'm talking about for a breakout season for Chig Okonkwo is every week putting pressure on defenses, having defenses say, man, we have got to do something about this Okonkwo guy, right? I saw some flashes. I saw some really good things. Like we all talked about it. Like when he did catch the ball, good things were happening. It just didn't happen enough, right? Exactly. There just weren't enough. He's not in there enough. Like I want him to get to the point where he's in the game. You always talk about this. Don't take yourself out of the game.
Exactly. No. For what?
And give them a reason to keep you on there. Don't have them taking you out because you can't block or you're tired. Whatever it is. Don't give them a reason to take you off the field. And then when you're out there every play, then the production is going to start happening. So to me, a true breakout season from Okonkwo, that's the kind of thing that could make a lot of other things fall into place, right? It's hard for me to see great play at wide receiver in general, right? You hope to get the most out of what you got. We talked a lot about Burks earlier this week. But if you could have excellent tight end play, from Okonkwo and really put pressure on the defense, that could make the job easier on the outside for the group that they are going to go with, probably, right?
No, you're absolutely right. To me, Chig is
like he was more of just sort of a spotty, a role player last year. Okonkwo,
and
a good role player. But I want to see if he could break out.
Yeah. He started to come on somewhat toward the end of the season, and I think a lot of it had to do with him finally learning the offense and feeling comfortable, and the coaching staff feeling comfortable at putting him in at certain times of the game. Because all last season, what did we say? Especially, at the beginning of the season, why isn't Chig Okonkwo more involved into the offense? Why isn't he? The guy is a matchup problem for anybody. He's faster than linebackers. He's bigger and stronger than safeties and corners. Why isn't this guy, getting more touches? But then, as a player, I should have thought, like, listen, maybe he doesn't know the playbook as well as he should at this point in time, because you saw in the second half of the season he started to pick up his play.
All right, when we come back, we'll get D-Mase and I's second player on the Titans offense that needs a breakout season. If they were to have a breakout, it could make all the difference for this team. Stay tuned. Hour number 2 is coming up on Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Bring that big bet energy this summer with Superbook Sports. It's Chase McCabe, and Superbook is my official sportsbook app because they're the most trusted name in sports betting. Right now, you can use the promo code THEGAME to score up to $250 with their first bet bonus. Win or lose, they will match your first bet up to $250 using that promo code THEGAME. So go to superbook.com for terms and conditions, or just download the Superbook Tennessee app, create your account. It takes less than 5 minutes, deposit your money, and boom, you'll get to betting. You can do singles, parlays, doesn't matter. And then for your first bet, enter the promo code THEGAME, and you'll get $250 courtesy of Superbook Sports. It is that simple. Download that app today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What if you could be credit card debt-free in 10 days and save as much as $1,000 a month? Loan Pronto's all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program is just what you need. Hey, Willie Donick here. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a small portion of the equity you have and enjoy a super low monthly payment. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days. And a $50,000 loan would only cost you around $400 a month. Use that money to pay off high-interest credit cards or do a home improvement. You can access up to 90% of your home's equity and 9 out of 10 homeowners won't even need an appraisal. Even if you did a total refi recently or just bought your home, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program. Stop the madness and say no to 24% interest fees. Call Loan Pronto today. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, subject to lender approval.
Hi, I'm Jamie with Souls for Souls, a global nonprofit based in Nashville that provides shoes and clothing to people across the world. We're joining forces with 1025 The Game for the second annual Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament on June 7th at the Hermitage Golf Course. A portion of the proceeds from the tournament will provide new shoes to children experiencing homelessness right here in Nashville. I hope you'll join us for an afternoon of fellowship and fun, all in support of a great cause. Go to thegamenashville.com for more information and to register.
Your Game Center update.
This update is brought to you by the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry. I'm Nick Keyser. A change at general manager today as the Maple Leafs announced they will not retain Kyle Dubas going into the next season, and a quadruple overtime last night in Raleigh as the Panthers took down the Hurricanes 3-2. Matthew Tkachuk was the hero with 12.7 seconds to play in the fourth overtime. Here he is after the game-winning goal.
I'm excited to get out of here. I'm excited to catch that 2:35 bus back to the hotel and get some sleep and some food and everything in us. I mean, this guy's cracking Red Bulls before the fourth overtime. Like, there's pizza flowing. It's actually pretty funny seeing it.
Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Admirals are back in action tonight here on 102.5 The Game at 7 p.m. They can clinch their third trip to the Western Conference Final in franchise history with a win over the Texas Stars. And the Sounds picked up their first win of the series versus the Durham Bulls last night, going out on top 8-4. They'll be back in action tonight at 5:20 p.m. on 94.9 The Fan. This update is brought to you by the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry. You're listening to 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
For more, follow us on Twitter at 1025 The Game or visit thegamenashville.com. Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Broadcasting on Alexa.
I appreciate that.
And other smart speakers. 1025 and 1063.
1, 2, 3. I think it was a good game. Had a couple of big plays.
The Game.
A Cromwell media station.
Covering your teams and the news of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase.
Who is pleasant to listen to.
With Caroline Fenton, Willy Donick, and former NFL wide receiver Derek Mason.
You are hands down my favorite radio personalities of all time.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
With no further ado.
Hour number 2 of Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase here on 102.5 The Game. Here in the Game studio, sponsored by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Caroline Fenton filling in for Jared this afternoon. You get a break from Jared today.
Yeah.
And I know there's some hockey fans that are probably glad that they get a day off from Jared today. Okay. We're not going to go there yet. We're going to get to the Admirals. Nick, our staff member Nick, he's fired
staff
up.
member Nick.
He's fired up about the Admirals. They play again tonight. Do they not, Nick?
I'm not fired up about it, Willy.
Yes, you are. You're
I'm
fired
a
up
media
about it.
member. Come on now.
Staff member, a co-worker.
Staff member.
Yes, staff
media member. Yes. Yes, there was a lot of grief there yesterday.
Yes.
Somewhat.
Oh, I know. I saw it all. It cracks me up because Jared, at the end of the day, he gets what he wants, right?
Yeah.
Everybody gets all riled up, and Jared's just back there laughing. I got you riled up. Just don't pay attention if you don't want to. Okay, man. But we'll get to the Admirals a little bit later. We're talking a little Titans here. By the way, 102.5 The Game, of course, 106.3. You can hear us on that as well. We got your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Dave Matthews Band at Bridgestone Arena Friday, May the 26th, courtesy of Green Trees Company Dispensary, providing high-quality legal THC products. Text the keyword TREES. That's TREEZ.
Trees.
Do not
Trees
text me.
with a Z. Do not text Nick.
Or, I'm sorry. Yes, don't call the station. I've had so many calls this week for that.
This is the opposite. This is the opposite of the trivia, right? Okay,
yes.
We always tease the people who text in the trivia answer when we're asking you to call in. This is the opposite. Do not call with the trees. You got to spell it right. TREEZ. And do it right now to the Game text line at 615-737-1025 and enter to win. Little Dave Matthews action. All right. We were talking about breakout players for the Titans offense that would solve a lot of problems. So I went with Chigakonkwo. You went with Andre Dillard for our first-round pick. So now who's your second-round pick?
The second big pick might be interesting to a lot of people, but because of how I see the game from an offensive standpoint, in the way I think the game has evolved, I think players like the guy that I'm about to mention, they have a role in what happens on the offense, and sometimes what they do and how they perform opens up a lot of other things for everyone else. It's not Traylon Burks. Obviously, we know Traylon Burks need to have a season, but it's not Traylon Burks. Willie, you already brought up Chikakonkwo, which is you're correct, spot on. He's a type of player that if he gets going, he brings a dynamic to that team that they haven't had since Delaney Walker. I think the guy that I believe needs to have a breakout season and will make this offense a much diverse and deadlier offense is Kyle Phillips. I think Kyle Phillips, that slot position is very critical on a lot of teams, that third receiver. To me, he has the potential, and he showed it early on against the Giants. He can present a matchup problem because of his quicks, his ability to get in and out of routes, his ability to work the middle of the field. It's hard to cover him. If he starts to make a name for himself, then what happens? Now I got to take the slot guy and I got to take the safety and account for where Kyle Phillips is at. Or I got to take the slot guy and a linebacker to account for where Kyle Phillips at. Now, what does that do? It opens it up for the two receivers outside because we got to pay attention, especially on third down. Third down is the critical down in all of football. If you capitalize on third down, you continue to keep the chains going. You want to have the ability. He should want to be that third down guy. I lived for third downs. That was like a rush for me. It was like, no matter any other down, this third down is the down for me. I know I'm getting the ball. I know I'm making a catch, but I know also that the defense is eyeing on me. And you know what that does to a defense when everybody's watching you and they got to pay attention to you, but yet and still you find a way to make that catch. It demoralizes the defense, especially when you have these long drives and you're capitalizing 2 or 3 third downs. So to me, Kyle Phillips is that guy. Again, he showed it early, but then injuries caught up with him. He had concussions and everything else, and he never even Vrabel said it. It was like after the first game, he was all through preseason. He was the talk of preseason. You know, this guy's coming on well. He could be a really good third down receiver for us, a guy that could move the chains for us. And he showed it that first game against the Giants, and then he gets injured. And then everything seems to go downhill for him.
It got lost in the shuffle over the weeks because everybody was hurt at some point. It seemed like it. There was very few guys that ended up playing the whole year.
Exactly.
And so many critical guys missed a lot of time. But that is a great what if. Like, you're right. Kyle Phillips looked like a great success story. That first game, he had a really impactful game.
I think he had, 9 for 90-some yards or 80-some yards?
I don't know if it was that many, but he made key catches, including the catch
on the sideline.
Should have won him the game on the dramatic catch. And that's the play he got hurt, I think, right? Didn't he get popped right there, or was it right before that? I don't remember. I feel like it was right around that time.
What play it was,
And he just was never the same.
Yeah, he was never the same.
Then he had the debacle where he was trying to play hurt and he couldn't catch the punt. So he's a really important – I think that's a great pick for – if you could wave the magic wand and he's able to put all that behind him and have the, quote, breakout, I think that would make a big, big difference.
But because if you look at what offenses try to do, when we look at, say, Cincinnati Bengals, we know T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. We know those two guys are going to – but nobody ever talks about Tyler Boyd, the third receiver. But he's critical in what they do. Because on third down, what are people trying to do? They're trying to double team Higgins and Jamar Chase. It doesn't work all the time, but they try. Yeah. But it gives them the ability. Tyler Boyd gives them the ability to still stay with their offense, and they know that Tyler Boyd's going to get open in the middle of the field somehow, some way. He's a big body guy, catches the ball very well, but he's a third down guy for them. You look at even Kansas City. Whoever they put in that third. A lot of times it's Travis Kelce, and we know what Travis Kelce is, but he gives them that dimension on third down where, listen, everybody's double teaming him. that should leave everybody else what? Single coverage. That's why they're able to capitalize so many third downs, because they have that ability from the inside with Travis Kelce or at the time Juju Smith-Schuster line up in that slot, and we're going to get a good play call for that guy, and 9 times out of 10, he's going to make that catch. Phillips for the Titans can be that Wes Welker, can be the what's the other guy that played for the Patriots early on? Not Gibbons, but
Danny Amendola.
No, not Amendola.
Wes Welker.
Before Wes Welker and Amendola. It was not Gibbons, but God, I forget his name. But he was
Julian Edelman.
Not Edelman. He was a critical in their early stages of them, like their first 2 Super Bowls. Because Edelman,
Troy Brown.
Yeah, Troy Brown.
Okay.
Troy Brown was the quintessential third down guy. Like, you put him in a slot and he's going to work the middle of the field, and Tom Brady knew exactly where he was and what he was going to do. They had a rapport. That's the rapport. That's the type of production that if the Titans could get that out of Kyle Phillips, it opens up everything else for Treylon Burks on third down, who you really want to get the ball to. But if I got to account for Kyle Phillips in that slot, double team him, then it opens it up for Treylon Burks. It opens it up for Chikakonkwa. It opens it up for everybody else on that offense. If Kyle Phillips can get in there and master that slot position, if he can stay healthy. So to me, if Kyle Phillips can have a breakout season, and a breakout season may be 600 yards, 600 yards, but you are a chain mover. A lot of your catches are what? On third down.
And that's where, you get that good efficiency rating. It's a move the chains offense. It helps everything else fall into place. All right, my second one real quick. I thought of this. You went on the other side of the line. I'm going to come back. I'm going to say Nicholas Petit-Frere. I think there's a great opportunity from year 1 to year 2. Like, I thought he did well just to be out there. He survived. He battled some injury just like everybody else by the end of the year, but he made it through there. I think he gained a lot of valuable experience. I'm hoping that in year 2, he's in position now to really make a jump. That's just how I look at it from where I sit. But, man, it's valuable to have a really good, solid right tackle. It's not going to ever get the hype as the left tackle, and I'm not saying, well, maybe he can move over to play left. There's something to be said for a guy that just plug in, don't have to worry about it. This is the left tackle. Like, he didn't always grade out real well, right? He had his moments where it's like, oh, boy.
It's like, ooh, yeah.
We got to work on that a little bit. Okay,
up.
Rookie. All right, rookie. But if you could erase that, and now he goes from rookie ups and downs to solid right tackle. And then with Dillard and Skoronski, that hopefully will work out on the left side, right? But if you could anchor the right side of the line with a second-year guy that's not making a ton of money, that's very valuable to me.
Oh, yeah.
You like that?
No, I do, because to me it goes back to everybody being in their natural positions, everybody playing their natural positions. Nicholas at the right tackle, Brunskill at the right guard, Brewer at the center, and then you got Skoronski at left guard, and Dillard at left tackle. To me, as I envision it, that's the best 5 on the field. And I'm not saying that Skoronski can't play left tackle. I'm not saying that. But if you want to have the best offensive line, which I'm sure the Titans want, I'm sure they're looking at it as, we hope it works out with Andre Dillard. Because if it works out with Andre Dillard, Nicholas gets better from last year. Now we have an offensive line for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Eventually, they're going to have to retool some things again. But just think, if I can have an Andre Dillard, going into his 3rd year, 4th year, I can have a Peter Skoronski going into his 1st year. I can have a Nicholas going into his 2nd year. You got 3 guys, and then Brewer, who's going into his, 4th year, somewhere 3rd, 4th year. You have 4 guys on that offensive line that haven't even reached their 5th year yet.
That's right. That's how you build a great roster. Is you get guys that make jumps like that.
Exactly.
All right. On that, we'll come back. We'll have a little fun segment, next segment, and then at 12:30 we'll have Ask D-Mase. So now we want to make sure you get your brain waves going here. Okay, you can throw a dad joke in there if you want. D-Mase is coming at you till 12:30.
I got you.
We're going to kick off Ask D-Mase with a D-Mase dad joke, which has become a tradition here on Fridays, just like Ask D-Mase. And so we want you to get your questions in. We're going to tell you about the prize when we come back. But also when we come back, I want to throw something at D-Mase about the props. This is a big thing in baseball now. It started a few years ago. I can't remember it happening before, but the props on the sideline when the ball is intercepted, you get a turnover. You know, before the days when you just run down to the camera and you do your flex pose, everybody runs down there. They had the thing where you go over and you dunk the ball in a basket, or you put a crown on or something. The props. It's now happening with home runs. I want to get D-Mace's take on the props. What do we like about it? What do we not like about it? Fun segment coming up next here on Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase here on 102.5 The Game.
All the big plays. All the big stories.
If you're not ready to play in this league, you will lose. I don't care who you're playing.
All in one place. We are Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3.
Because I love the sport. We played the way we needed to.
Why would he make that move?
360 and he slams it home. The Game and the Game Nashville app.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Calling a criminal defense lawyer or a divorce lawyer, you may think it's the worst day of your life. It doesn't have to be. If you have quality, competent representation who can guide you through a complex system, we can do that for you. Despite if you've been arrested for a DUI or a robbery charge, whether or not you're going through a divorce or a post-divorce, or demanding your fundamental constitutional right to parent your children. 615-604-6263. AmandaJGentry.com.
An MRI is a non-invasive, pain-free way to diagnose disorders, injuries, and diseases without an x-ray or surgery. Houston Clinic Orthopedics' state-of-the-art MRI center at 394 Harding Place is dedicated to providing the highest quality of care in orthopedics. The Houston Clinic Orthopedic team ensures that all of their MRI technologists have specialty training on orthopedic imaging and orthopedic MRI. To experience world-class orthopedic care and see a list of all physicians, visit their website at tn.houston.com and book your appointment online.
To shop at Genesis Diamonds, the undisputed value leader.
Part of the education at Genesis Diamonds is we explain to you how we travel the world and purchase our diamonds, how we buy in bulk, we pay cash for our diamonds so we can save every possible percent to save you money on your diamonds.
Genesis Diamonds Vice President David Cooper.
There are no middlemen, there are no other wholesalers or dealers, so we cut out all of those extra added markups and pass those savings on to you.
When you combine that unmatched value with a totally no-pressure shopping experience, you know you're in the right place.
Because we do not work on commission, our sole purpose is to make sure you get exactly what you want. There's nothing in it for us personally, whether you spend $1,000 or $100,000.
That's why at Genesis, people often end up spending less than they had budgeted.
Our goal is to purely present you with options so you can choose exactly what you want.
The value you want, the experience you deserve. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs.
It's almost time for the second annual Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament presented by Gary Force Acura and benefiting our friends at Souls for Souls. Join us on June 7th at the President's Reserve at Hermitage Golf Course. You can put a team together to play with athletes, musicians, and other local celebs like me. It's going to be awesome and for a great cause, and you'll have a great chance to win great prizes. Sign up to play, sponsor, or simply donate at thegamenashville.com/golf.
When Smashville wants to rock. We are Nashville's rock station. 102.9 The Buzz. We try to stay cool by being on social media.
I'm with it. I'm hip.
Follow us on Twitter at 1025 The Game and on Instagram at 1025 The Game Nashville.
Hey!
Oh yeah, and like us on Facebook too. Having some fun in the midday.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This This is Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
We're back here on Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase. Don't forget to join 102.5 The Game for the second annual Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament. It's presented by Gary Force Acura, benefiting Souls for Souls on June the 7th at Hermitage. So put your team together. Come play with the athletes, musicians at a beautiful golf course. A lot of local celebs and support a great cause. Have loads of fun. You have a chance to win awesome prizes. Sign up to play right now. Sponsor if you want, or even donate at thegamenashville.com/golf. Willie Donick, Derek Mason here with you. Ask D-Mase coming up at 12:30. We'll tell you about the prize here in a moment. So get the questions ready. We'll also have the next installment of D-Mase's dad
people.
jokes. It's going to be really good. It's going to be awesome.
You want me? I got one for you.
Oh, you want to just have a little sneak preview?
Just a little sneak preview. So, growing up, you watch your mom and your dad, and as they're going out, with mom's dad, they get dressed up, they're going out. And so mom says to my dad, well, how do I look? She looked in the mirror, my dad said, with your eyes.
Good grief. No. I'm glad you didn't use that during your segment. During the
That was a good one, Willie. No. Come on now. Come on. You would that's something that you would say. Like Aaron would say, Willie, how do I look? And you would say, with your eyes. That is something a dad would say. Come on, you know that.
That is a dad joke. That is definitely a dad joke. It's not a good dad joke, but it is a dad joke.
One. 1 out of 100. That's like 75.
I thought you brought it stronger earlier in the show.
The first one.
The first round was better.
Yeah. No, that's like 85, Derek.
Yeah, there we go. See.
615-737-1025 to get in on Ask D-Mase in the next hour. But I want to hit you up with this. What do you guys, and I'll get Nick's comment on this as well. What do you guys think of the prop thing? Like, there's the old saying in sports: "Act like you've been there before." So this goes against everything that's related to that. And I remember when I first saw the turnover props in college football, I was like, "Come on!" The object of the game is to get turnovers, right? Don't act like it's such an amazing thing that you got an interception.
Exactly.
But they come over there and, you get to slam dunk it on a little Nerf hoop, or they put you on a little throne and they put a cape around you and a crown on top of your head or something. And now it's infiltrated into baseball. And I have to admit, and I'm in a lot of ways Mr. Traditional, act like you've been there before, but I have to say, if it's done right and it's funny, I think it's a good thing. I don't know if you've seen this, Derek, but you have this. It's usually something that's related to your team, like the Washington Nationals, who aren't a great team right now. They play in our nation's capital. So if you had a home run for the Nationals, they put like a George Washington wig, like a white wig, like a judge, or from the 1700s or something. They put that wig on there, the fake hair, and you get to go down the line in the dugout. Now the key is to me that it's in the dugout, right? It's not outside the dugout where you're showing up the other team. That's where you get into it. And University of Tennessee baseball team, they were doing stuff like this last year, but it was a little bit more in your face, outside the dugout in a big group, and it didn't go over very well. And I think they pretty much made an SEC rule. You had to do this in the dugout. So I do think that's a barrier, right? But if it's just with your guys, it's kind of out of the line of sight of your team, and it gets on your own home telecast, which usually is that dugout cam. You get a good look at it. You come through the tunnel in the dugout, you're congratulated, and then you emerge with whatever it is that you have. I think it works. It's pretty good. So do you like this? Like this is me coming out of my shell and saying I'm open to new things.
Yes,
I like the home run props. I like them.
No, I mean there's nothing wrong with celebrating, because one, it's you got to remember that this is still a game that you used to play when you were little. That's how majority of us started playing it when we were, knee high to a grasshopper, and we loved it and we had fun with it. But then it seems like as the years go on, it becomes less about having fun and enjoying it. And I get the other half of it about winning, but I think sometimes winning is it can demoralize a team because you're thinking somebody needs to break the ice. There needs to be a sense of, okay, yeah, we got work to do, but if we score a touchdown or hit a home run or a sacrifice fly or something like that, then let's celebrate it, because it's hard to score as you move up in ranks. Like from high school, it's harder to score in high school than it was in Pee Wee. It's harder to score in college than it was in high school. It's definitely harder to score in the pros than it was in college. So when you're able to do that after all of this hard work, you should be able to celebrate and enjoy it. And I think a lot of times we sort of want to take that part away from it and say, no, let's not do that. Just it's good enough. Act like you've been there. Well, some people, they haven't been there.
They haven't been there.
Absolutely.
You know what I like about this particular one in the dugout is it is a team celebration.
Exactly.
Everybody's in on it. The guy that hits the home run, like they in the Twins now, it's the land of 10,000 lakes. So they now have like a fisherman jacket, and it's the land of 10,000 rakes. And they give you a fishing pole and like a vest with a camo on it, like you would wear with all the little, the what do you call it, the lures and everything on there.
Right. I like that.
It's really good. And they have who's got the Viking? Somebody's got a Viking one. There's the Mariners have the big trident that Aquaman has.
I've seen that.
And the players, the funny thing is the players come up with it, right?
Exactly.
It's organic, and they order it on Amazon or something. They bring it into the clubhouse. What is that?
Yeah,
if you hit a home run, we're going to give you the Aquaman trident here. But it's funny. But it's a team celebration, and it doesn't show up the other team. I think it plays well. And on social media, people love this kind of stuff.
It does. I think all the admins had fun with it. I know the Preds, they had the, what was it, the fighter pilot?
Yeah. They get,
yeah.
And that's an after the game in your locker room winning celebration, too.
Yeah.
So it's similar. This one's during a game. You might not necessarily win the game.
No. But hockey, it's harder because you can't really do that on the ice. But, okay, so this is really dumb. So there was a guy on my beer league hockey team that kept saying like shredding the cheese in hockey because he would score goals and go top cheese. That's just what they say. So one of our older guys on our team was like, I got a cheese grater at home. We can always just say shredding the cheese. And I'm like, that's just dumb. But like stuff like that, like social media admins eat that up. I thought it was dumb. But like when Lively Let had the bullhead a couple of years ago, that was one other good example. But yeah, the trident was really good. I'm trying to think if I saw anything else.
Well, the Brewers have a cheese head.
Yeah.
Because of obvious reasons. They put the cheese head on the top of the guy. So some of it is a perfect fit for the city. Other teams don't do it.
Yeah, but a lot of it what I think sometimes these owners or GMs or sometimes even the manager or the head coach, they don't realize is that those things draw eyes to your club. Like
that is a big factor.
It draw more fans into your club. It's like, the whole thing with Tennessee. You may not have liked it, or you may have thought that, it's showing the other team up too much. But I'm sure they got so many more followers because of that.
No question.
People were now wanted to see it.
Yep. All right, let me throw one more example of this in football that you back from your day. Remember when Chad Ochocinco had the whole presentation when he would score? I mean, he used props.
Oh yeah,
right.
He did.
And then Joe Horn, remember, had the phone that he put in the He put in the goalpost before the game. He was so confident. He's like, when I score, there's going to be a phone down there. And the NFL made a rule: no props.
Yeah, no
on
props
the field. Maybe because it was more individual than team. So do you remember that? Or do you think the NFL should reintroduce props now? The no fun league?
Well, they do have props, but usually you can do it on the sideline.
Yeah.
But the NFL has gotten to a point now where they understand. Because remember, there was a point where they took it. Remember the whole Smurfs with the Washington Redskins?
Oh, yeah.
And they would,
the Fun Bunch?
Yeah, the Fun Bunch. And they would do theirs. Who were the Smurfs? It was Miami. Miami called theirs the Smurf with Clayton and Duper. And then there was another one. But people enjoyed that. But then the NFL said, nope, it's too much. Because we see guys trying to break up y'all little thing and it's causing too much commotion. So we're taking that out. And fans are like, that's what we enjoy. So eventually after many years, the NFL had to bring it back. Like, okay, you can celebrate to an extent.
Team celebration versus individual versus taunting. That's the category you gotta walk that tightrope, right?
So now you see everything in the NFL.
I know. So I'm wondering if the NFL will have the version of the props coming on.
I do wonder. And Derek, I have a question for you to start Ask D-Mase. So I'm looking forward to that. But also, Willie, what is our prize today?
Okay.
Do you know yet?
No, I do not know. Hold on. So when we come back, we're going to unveil the prize. This is called a tease, Nick. As we talk on the radio, we're going to tease. There's a big prize. We'll tell you about it.
Yes, staff member Nick. Staff member Nick. Come on.
Staff member Nick. He knows the prize. 615-737-1025 for Ask D-Mase. You can get into anything and everything. Straight up knowledge, pop culture, anything that's on your mind. Lakers, whatever you have. Ask D-Mase. We'll tell you about the prize for the best question for D-Mase coming up next.
102.5 and 106.3 The Game has an all-star lineup Monday through Friday. Batting first at 6 a.m., it's Robbie and Rexroad.
Yeah, you take that. Take me 80% of that.
Followed by Chase and Michelle at 9.
Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
I need my caffeine so much.
Then it's Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase at 11.
Yep, green light, let's go.
You've got a lot of options.
He say, she say. And bringing it home at 2, Jared Stillman for Stillman and Company.
That guy will be a good coach.
We are Nashville's best sports talk, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Real estate investors, listen up. D&M Development announces the pre-sale of Nashville's only non-owner occupied short-term rental resort community. The New Cumberland is perfectly located between Germantown and East Nashville, with amazing views of the city and the Cumberland River. The New Cumberland is a resort-style community featuring community pools, spacious kitchens, 4 bedrooms, and 4 baths. D&M Development is releasing 16 units in their Phase 1. Available now. Go to thenewcumberland.com for information. That's thenewcumberland.com.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 3.5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Did you know that more than 4,000 children in Nashville are experiencing homelessness right now? And across Middle Tennessee, that number grows to more than 9,000. Hi, I'm Jamie with Souls for Souls, a global nonprofit based right here in Nashville, and we're on a mission to provide these kids with a brand new pair of athletic shoes through our For Every Kid program. Because we know that something as simple as a pair of shoes can change a child's future. Students who receive these new shoes tell us things like, I can't believe these shoes are mine. I finally have something new of my own and don't feel left out. And my feet feel like they can breathe. We're joining forces with our friends here at 102.5 The Game for the 2nd annual Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament to help provide new shoes to kids across Nashville. It's all happening June 7th at the Hermitage Golf Course. Come join us for an afternoon of fellowship and fun, all in support of a great cause. Go to thegamenashville.com for more information and to register.
Tonight,
Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final between my beloved Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. Coverage on 94.9 The Fan begins after Sounds Baseball.
Your home for the NBA playoffs
is 94.9 The Fan and The Fan app.
Hey, Nashville
Nashville. This is Laura Rutledge from the SEC Network, and you're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
D-Mase. He played 15 years in the NFL.
Quick throw. Touchdown, Derek Mason.
He had over 12,000 receiving yards.
Midfield, and there he goes. 80 yards for the touchdown.
And now you can ask him anything. Have a question about football or life? Now's your time to ask D-Mase.
We'll welcome you in.
Now on Caroline, Willy, and
D-Mase.
On 102.5 and 106.3, The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is time for Ask D-Mase here on 102.5 The Game. So, yes, there is a prize for the best question for D-Mase. But you know what? It's not even about the prize. It's just about communicating, making our Friday a little more fun, talking to D-Mase. He's the man. But if you have the best question, you do get a pair of tickets to see Godsmack. You can ask D-Mase, does he know any Godsmack songs? I've heard of Godsmack, but they're playing at First Bank Amphitheater on May 23rd. And you can go see it. It's coming up.
What did you say, May 23rd?
May 23rd at the First Bank Amphitheater.
Tuesday, right?
It's coming up.
Yeah, Tuesday. There we go. We're watching all these man, his guns are huge, man. That dude's about 80 years old. And he's flexing.
On Friday. See, we're trying to, have fun on Friday like a lot of shows do. Like MLB Networks get a thing called the Ham and Eggers, so they get the craziest fans in the stands and they show what they do, and that's their thing. And of course, you got the ESPN, the Not Top 10. That's always a good one. Always good for some laughs here on Friday. So we're kind of looking for the same thing. So ask D-Mase whatever you got. 615-737-1025. Best question for D-Mase gets the Godsmack tickets. Now, D-Mase, we also have a tradition on Friday. Dad humor, dad jokes. Do you have one to get it started?
I'm going to save it for now.
Oh,
I'm going to save it.
Wow, okay.
I'm going to throw it in there.
A little gunshot.
Because I wanted Nick to ask his question.
Okay.
He had a question off the bat.
You're going to save it. It's not because the last one flopped.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. Man,
I think it's because it flopped just a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little
bit.
bit.
All right, Nick,
when
you're
you
the
fall
lead
down,
off
you got to get up, man.
That's true. Okay, so I'm going to stick to what we were kind of just talking about. So, Derek, if you did have a prop, what do you think you would use? And would it be for a touchdown or would it be for a kick return?
Oh, man. It would be for a kick return because those are touchdowns, obviously, receiving touchdowns is hard to get to. But kickoff returns, those are extremely hard because, everything basically, guys got to be blocking properly and there has to be just, you got to see that crease and you got to hit it. If you don't see that crease or if you miss that crease, you're not getting up the field. So for me, it would be after a kickoff return.
Okay, but what is your prop?
What is my prop?
Do you have a prop? Now, you used to do. If I remember,
the Michael Jackson.
You did the Michael Jackson leg kick, which was a very natural, no prop needed.
Exactly.
Excellent celebration.
I was too young to know that you did that.
Yeah,
so that
Michael Jackson.
It was. I have to say, it was strong. If you're gonna do that, you got to bring it.
But
otherwise, first of all, you could injure yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You got to be careful.
Yeah,
because your cleat can get stuck in the ground.
Yeah,
you make the turn. There you go. ACL.
Didn't somebody actually hurt themselves doing it?
I hope not.
Somebody, John McClain, I think it was Butch Johnson. Remember Butch Johnson way back for the Cowboys?
Uh-huh.
I think he went to the Oilers, and he was doing some sort of celebration, and he injured himself. So you never injured yourself with the Michael Jackson leg kick. And then that was followed by the spike, right? You had to leg kick, and then you throw it down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what I did.
Did you ever consider a prop when Joe Horn and Chad Ochocinco were doing those things?
No, because I never wanted to come off wrong,
Yeah. You thought it was a little too much.
Yeah, it was a little too much for me. That wasn't my personality. So.
Okay.
But
Good
go
question.
ahead, Nick.
Fair enough.
Uh-huh.
All right. 615-737-1025. Calls and texts brought to you by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Andrew from Dover says, D-Mase, give me your all-time starting five Lakers. All-time.
Ooh, all-time starting five Lakers. See, it's hard because...
Now, we can't take up the whole half hour with this, okay?
But
we gotta...
here we go. It's hard because I love Kareem and I love Shaq. Gosh.
You could start two centers.
Wilt,
you could have twin towers.
Gosh, man. But
Tri-towers.
From what I seen, from what I saw, I'm not putting Campbell in there. Campbell, no. You remember Campbell.
Oh, yeah. Eldon Campbell?
Hell, yeah. No. Give me, as much as I like.
Vlade Divac.
Give me, as much as I like the captain, give me Shaq at center. Dominant force, most dominant
over
force.
Kareem.
Yes, I love the captain, but man, Shaq was just a dominant force, man. Give me Shaq, my guards. Give me, of course, give me Magic, and give me Bron at the 2. I take Bron at the 2. Give me James at the 3. James Worthy, that is.
Okay.
So I got Magic. I got
LeBron James, James Worthy,
Shaq, and then that last one, man,
you're not putting number 8 in your starting 5?
Yes, Kobe's there. He would have to be Kobe. So, okay, this is what I would do. I would switch.
I mean, Magic is versatile. You can slide him around. LeBron's versatile.
I'll put my starting 5, period. No position. I got Shaq, Magic, Kobe, Bron, and James.
Okay.
Worthy.
I like that you get Worthy in there. He was good.
People don't remember. People lose sight of what Worthy meant to that Laker team in those championship runs. It's a beast.
That's a tough call, getting it down to 5 with all the great Lakers.
And then you got Paul Gasol. I mean, but he wasn't there long enough for me. I know Bron isn't there long enough either, but Bron is Bron. You know, so there you go. There's my top 5.
615-737-1025. Let's go to Nate, who's up first. Nate, welcome into the show. What do you got for D-Mase?
What's up, guys? Willie, I'd like your opinion on this, too. Tell me why I should not be mad at New Era. Y'all are talking about the props, and with the Atlanta Braves, they were using an oversized hat
I saw this,
in the dugout, given to the club, the players, by a fan to use. And New Era caused a stink about it, and the MLB basically called the Braves and said, y'all got to stop this. It's in the dugout.
Yeah, Nate, I think you're right. You could put them on the list.
It's on the – I mean, New Era's the on-field hat. That's not on the field per se. That's in the dugout.
Yeah, it's one or the other. You either let them do it and not worry about it, or make them a hat. Just make them a hat.
And that's what I was going to say. New Era, just make a hat.
Just make a
these
big
guys.
hat.
Yeah, big guy. Because that's the new thing now, these big hats.
It's like over, not just big, but like enormous.
It's kind of like the cartoon.
Right.
Where the guy has the big old hat on and it's bigger than his whole body. That's what it is now. And you're right. New Era just needs to make one of the big hats. And they probably do, but they probably would have liked for them to ask New Era first if they had one rather than get it from a fan. But I understand the whole fan thing. You want to, make them feel that they're a part of the organization, and that's a good way to do it.
I'm hoping that works itself out because it is a fun prop. In fact, we talked USN, the baseball team. They bought one of those hats.
They got the big hats?
They used it. It was player of the game or whatever, like the Predators do, and like a lot of the hockey teams do after the game. They have their little prop for the one they want to recognize. 737-1025 for Ask D-Mase, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. When we come back, segment number 2. The Godsmack tickets are on the line, but we just want to have good conversation with D-Mase. We're bouncing all over the place here on this Friday. Robbie Stanley, late edition. He's going to join us at 1 o'clock to help augment our hockey discussion of the day. That's coming up around the corner. But segment 2 of Ask D-Mase is next here on 102.5 The Game.
185! Every team needs a quarterback.
185! Take!
That's why we have
Hasselbeck, bootleg, rollout, toss, touchdown!
Tim.
You can run good plays at the right time.
ESPN NFL analyst Tim Hasselbeck gives his expertise on all things NFL.
You evaluate players, and then you're turning them over to the coaching staff.
Every Tuesday at noon.
At the right time.
With Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase. Tim on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Whatever your destination in life, you can get there easier with a checking account from F&M Bank. At F&M, our checking accounts give you the tools you need to manage your money well, like our smart free checking account that's actually free. Because sometimes the basics are more than enough, making lives better by making banking easier. Come see us at one of our branches or online at myfmbank.com. F&M Bank. Banking made easy. On purpose. Member FDIC.
In football, we all take our hits, but protection, that keeps you in the game. That's why I always wore a helmet and pads on the field. Life, too, comes with risks, so I got vaccinated and boosted for COVID-19. Hi, this is former Tennessee Titans tackle Brad Hopkins. Talk to your doctor. Get the information you need to make an informed choice. Gear up, Tennessee. Protect yourself and your family against COVID-19.
For more information, go to nflagearup.org/Tennessee.
Men, at the Tennessee Men's Clinic, our urologists and providers have been helping guys with erectile dysfunction and other sexual health issues for years. And unlike some, at the Tennessee Men's Clinic, we take a comprehensive approach to your sexual health. Our sole focus is to treat ED and related conditions. ED can be affected by a bunch of things, from hormones, prostate issues, medical conditions, and even simply aging. The fact is, most guys experience it at some point in life. If you're suffering with ED, it's extremely important to see a provider that understands how your medical conditions, hormone levels, and other factors can impact your ability to have sex. That's why you should come to the Tennessee Men's Clinic, where we have treatments that are effective in nearly 90% of cases. I can't tell you how many guys we've seen that thought their situation was hopeless, only to be wildly surprised. So give us a call today. We'll do some blood work with a T-check and a medical consult to give you the best shot at success. Call 615-208-9090 or go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. We have 2 offices, Midtown and Franklin.
Visit our website to learn more, including side effects. Treatments extra, results vary.
Buffalo Bills Center of the West in Cody, Wyoming welcomes you as you enter Yellowstone Park's East Entrance. 5 museums in one and the greatest firearms museum anywhere. Welcome to the West. Buffalo Bills Center of the West, Cody, Wyoming.
Dr. Rick here. If you find yourself getting particular about where you get the weather, you may be turning into your parents.
Looks like it might rain. Let's see what Corey from Channel 2 has to say. He's something else. I like him better than Harris from Channel 5.
You could just look up the weather on your phone.
I like Corey from Channel 2.
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
They're homegrown in Nashville, discussing the biggest topics in the SEC.
The fans are going to want the rivalries to stick around. They've lost to Alabama every year.
The NFL.
What if all the top 3 quarterbacks went 1, 2, 3? You've got to draft your guy at 2.
And anything in between.
From thinking we know everything to then forgetting about everything we thought we knew the day before.
They're Jonathan Hutton and Chad Withrow on Outkick's Hot Mic.
Out of the gates, ready to go.
Weekdays from 2 to 5 on 94.9 The Fan and The Fan app. This is Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
D-Mase.
He played 15 years in the NFL.
Quick throw. Touchdown, Derek Mason.
He had over 12,000 receiving yards.
Midfield, and there he goes. 80 yards for the touchdown.
And now you can ask him anything. Have a question about football or life? Now's your time to ask D-Mase.
We'll welcome you in.
Now on Caroline, Willy, and
D-Mase.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It's time for round 2 of Ask D-Mase. Are we introducing the Bulls starting 5 here? What happened?
In your Chicago Bulls.
The man in the middle, Bill Cartwright.
Why? I was expecting you to say Winnington.
Different era.
Yeah.
The first three-peat, the second three-peat. I'm partial to Bill Cartwright. I got Bill Cartwright's autograph when I was a kid when he was with the Knicks, when I was living in New York. Nice guy. 615-737-1025 for Ask D-Mase. Ask him anything.
Yeah,
sports, non-sports, whatever. And, of course, you can watch us streaming live on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook Live every day. Video streaming brought to you by Superbook. Download their app today. Use promo code THEGAME. All right. Are you ready for a hot and heavy one here? D-Mase. Your wife and your mom both want to ride in the passenger seat. Mm-hmm. Who are you making sit in the back? Good luck answering that one.
Listen. Wow, that would be a tough one, but no. I would. I would play it like this. I would, because you expect your wife to be with you,
Yeah.
Like, okay, like we're together. Like I'm gonna say this.
You got to hope somebody steps up and said, "I'll ride in the back."
Yeah, you expect you say my wife. Your wife, that's your wife. It's your wife. So it's like, yeah, baby, you ride in the front, and then you hope your wife say, no, mom rides in the front.
Yeah,
and I'll ride in the back, and then now you're good. Because now you don't have to make. You made the decision, but you really didn't make the decision, or you just let them both walk to the side of the car, to the passenger side, or whoever opens up the door.
I don't think this is how you should answer the question.
I open up the door, and whoever gets in, gets in.
Shotgun.
I go around, open up the passenger door, and whoever gets in first, that's who gets in.
That's right. You called shotgun. Did you call shotgun, Mom? I don't know. You didn't call it. Sorry.
Hey, that's not my fault.
Hey, whoever calls shotgun, that's the rule in my car. That's the rule in the Bullet.
That's how you get away with it. That's how you get away with it. Just go around. Be the gentleman. Go around and open up the passenger door, and whoever gets in first, then, hey, that's who's going to ride in the front seat.
You're dead, Willie.
If you missed Derek's Bullet story a few weeks ago, that was Derek's first car.
Yes.
They called it the Bullet.
Yes.
615-737-1025. The Bullet cost $500.
$500. $250 a piece.
Awesome.
Myself and Sean. We got $250 a piece.
Strong.
Yes.
All right, let's get to the phones. Rob is up next. Rob, what do you got for D-Mase?
I just want to know why is Malik Willis getting discredited so much behind that Jags game? I think he's a very good player, and why shouldn't he be second string starting for right now anyway with the Titans?
Thank you. Appreciate your call. Right now, based upon what Mike Vrabel said, he is number 2 on the depth chart.
He did say that.
He said it. I'm just going by what the head coach said. He is number 2 on the depth chart. But realistically, knowing this game, yeah, he's number 2, but it's only going to take 1 or 2 practices before Will Levis jumps to number 2 and he jumps to number 3. Now, here's the deal with Malik Willis. He shouldn't have played last year. He shouldn't have played. He should never have been on the field. That was football malpractice. And I'm going to say it, as much as I love the organization, I think Vrabel's a damn good coach, but that was football quarterback malpractice to put him out there because he was not ready, not one bit. Now, I've seen guys that you look at it, their first year, and you're like, man, is this dude ever going to make it? Is he ever going to get it? Is he ever going to make it? Then he works hard enough. He comes back that next season, and you see how he's made that jump. It's probably not the jump that's going to make him a starter or anything else, but you can see the progression. He's learning from his mistakes. He's been in here. He's putting in the time, and I expect that from Malik Willis. I'm not screaming I'm a quarterback guru, and I don't think anyone else is a quarterback guru that's a talking head, basically. I don't think nobody can say, well, he'll never make it or he will. I just say give the kid an opportunity. I expect him. This is what I expect. I expect him to be better than he was last year. Now, where does that put him? I don't know. I don't know if that put him on the roster. I don't know if that puts him off the roster. I don't know if that puts him on another team. But being in this sport for as long as I was, if he's going to make that jump, or he's going to improve somewhat from what he was last year. Again, does it mean that he will become a backup on his team? I don't know, but I do know the kid will improve from what he did last year.
Dylan texts in and says, wife drives, mom rides in the front, I'll get in the back.
Hey, that's
the dilemma. It's not a bad move.
Hey, what if wife don't want to drive? What if mom don't want to drive? Wife don't want to drive? What do you do then?
Yeah, it's a dilemma. Somebody heard your Lakers starting 5 and said, can't believe you left out Jerry West. Of course, you knew that was coming. So somebody was going to second guess
Elgin Baylor. I get
5.
all of that. But those are guys I didn't see play. The guys that I saw play, the captain, Shaq, Kobe, Bron, Magic, Worthy, I left Cooper out. I left a bunch of guys out. But, some of those greats, Wilt Chamberlain, I left him out. I didn't see him play, So I'm just going by the guys I saw play.
All right, got a tough one here. If you had to Give me your depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
What would it be out of these three? Starter, backup, and cut.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State, Lakers, Titans.
Well, Sparty got to be number one.
Okay, starter, Michigan State.
Yeah, Sparty's number one. That's where it all started. Well, where it really all started was Montford High, Detroit, Montford High, West Side, okay? Right off Curtis. But it would be Michigan State, and the other two were?
The Lakers and the Titans.
The Lakers and the Titans. As much as I love the Lakers, I sort of got like a vested interest in the Titans because I played for them. I didn't play for the Lakers, so I would put the Titans second, and then the Lakers, I would have to cut them begrudgingly.
You got to cut the Lakers.
Yeah.
Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
All right, D-Mase, did a fan ever ask you to sign an autograph in or on a weird place?
Of course. Yeah, that has happened. Not many times, but it has happened. So,
in or on?
On.
What comes to mind? Anything you can share?
I mean, body part. You know,
upper.
We'll just leave it at that.
The body. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Body part. You know, and then you look. It's like
calf.
It's like should I do? And you sort of laugh it off, like,
see you
later.
On
to the next person. Yes.
Did you ever sign a bald head?
No, never signed a bald head. Nah, I've never understood. You know, I've never really understood. Well, I guess nowadays it's a little bit different because what would you rather have, a picture or an autograph?
A picture.
I would rather have a picture. But I understand a lot of times athletes and entertainers don't like taking pictures. I get it because they can be resold and, doctored or whatever. But if I'm a fan, I would rather, unless it's on a picture that I'm bringing to you, like a action picture, then yes, sign it. But if it's just we're out and I see somebody, I would rather take the picture than to have an autograph.
All right. Let's see. We've got one or two more we want to get to here. I lost my place. D-Mase,
come on, people.
I want to know what the relationship is like with the other players on your team. Now this is interesting because you played on a lot of different teams. Is it like any given Sunday, the movie, where some of the players are ready to beat each other up? Is it like the Army, where you're only tight with a few guys, but you look out for everyone? Or is it where guys are only worried about themselves and their stats? It's a pretty interesting question because I'm sure there have been a lot of teams that have traits of all three of those questions. And, some are good, some are bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's like any given Sunday. If it is, then your locker room is not good at all. You ain't winning no games. So
even coached by Al Pacino?
Exactly. No, can't win games like that if everybody want to beat up each other. So it's not like any given Sunday. But it's not necessarily like guys are looking out for their stats and they're just worried about themselves.
Because that's a bad locker room,
Yeah, that's a bad locker room, too. I think it's more so the Army. Like for me, I was close with the guys in the receiver room. Why? Because we spent all of our time together. Our lockers were close to one another or whatnot. But we looked out for everybody on the offense and the defense. We all had a common goal, and that was to win a football game however we needed to be. Some games it was going to be the defense was going to hold us up. Some games the offense was going to hold us up. Some games the receiver was going to go out there and have a great game because the run game's not going. Or it was going to be, whether it's Eddie George, Willis McGahee, Jamal Lewis, one of those guys was going to have to hold us up because the passing game wasn't going well. So I think it's more like the Army. You're really close with the guys in your position or your sort of group or troop, but you're looking out for the whole of the locker room. So,
good stuff. All right, another great session of Ask D-Mase. We're going to crown the champion and the Godsmack tickets here very soon. In the meantime, when we come back for our final hour, we're going to start. Robbie Stanley is going to make a special appearance on the show, and we'll talk a little hockey. We'll get Nick involved. We'll talk about what's going on in the conference finals in the NHL, some good storylines. We'll find out how many overtimes Robbie stayed up for, because I think the game ended right before his show started.
Oh, wow.
Last night. It went deep into the night. We're talking 4 overtimes, almost a fifth. Almost a fifth. But we'll talk about that. Plus, the Admirals are in action tonight. A lot going on here. Stay tuned. Final hour of the show. Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase here on 102.5 The Game.
Nashville Sounds Baseball lives on 94.9 The Fan. Catch every pitch.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Every hit.
That's a base hit.
Every run.
Looking up, it's gone.
On your home for Sounds Baseball. 94.9 The Fan and The Fan app.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Looking for an engagement ring that'll really knock her socks off? You need to be at Genesis Diamonds.
It's such a privilege at Genesis Diamonds for us to work with the world's finest designers, to be able to offer brands like Tacori and Verragio, and we're excited to be able to give you something nobody else can.
Genesis Vice President David Cooper.
The craftsmanship, the detail, the quality, the individuality is bar none better than anything else.
Genesis has been selected as an exclusive provider for every top designer from New York and California, with over 4,000 rings to choose from. And if that's not enough, they can create something that's truly one of a kind.
We can custom craft you literally anything you can imagine. We have the capabilities to realize any dream you have. Things that other stores may call new, we've been doing for 3, 4, and even 5 years already.
So don't settle for a ring with a stale design or with inferior craftsmanship. Let Genesis help you get the look, the quality, and the value you deserve. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs, voted year after year best jewelry store in Nashville.
Nashville's best deal of the week is Bavarian Beer House at Opry Mills. Bavarian Beer House, Nashville's only authentic German beer hall, is full of fun, food, music, and most importantly, beer. Enjoy traditional German bratwurst, schnitzel, giant pretzels, and more in an Oktoberfest-inspired space. Visit BeerHouseNashville.com for their live music schedule. Get a $50 gift card for half off right now at thegamenashville.com/deals while supplies last.
AM radio provides always-on news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports. And it's also a vital service that provides important emergency information when your community needs it most. Tell Congress you need AM radio to stay in your car. Because when cell phones and the internet are down, this free emergency service is critical. And when you don't have electricity, radio in the car is often your only lifeline. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey, it's Withrow. Regal Realty Group and Monarch Title have made it even easier for you to buy or sell your house. Their updated website is very helpful for buyers and sellers with a list of communities and featured listings and answers to questions you may have when selling. Take a look around at regalrg.com. You'll find your new home with their super easy search bar. Regal Realty helps from contract to closing and everything in between, like inspections, appraisals, and paperwork. Let them do the heavy lifting and make it easy for you. Everything you need is at regalrg.com.
Your Game Center update.
I'm Nick Keyser. A change at general manager today as the Maple Leafs announced they will not retain Kyle Dubas going into the next season, and a quadruple overtime last night in Raleigh as the Panthers took down the Hurricanes 3-2. Matthew Tkachuk was the hero with 12.7 seconds to play in the fourth overtime. Here he is after the game-winning goal.
I'm excited to get out of here. I'm excited to catch that 2:35 bus back to the hotel and get some sleep and some food and everything in us. I mean, this guy's cracking Red Bulls before the fourth overtime. Like, there's pizza flowing. It's actually pretty funny seeing it.
Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Admirals are back in action tonight here on 102.5 The Game at 7 p.m. They can clinch their third trip to the Western Conference Final in franchise history with a win over the Texas Stars. And the Sounds picked up their first win of the series versus the Durham Bulls last night, going out on top 8-4. They'll be back in action tonight at 5:20 p.m. on 94.9 The Fan. You're listening to 102.5 and 106.3 at The Game.
For more, follow us on Twitter at 102.5 The Game or visit thegamenashville.com. Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT-FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Nashville's exclusive home for the Nashville Predators. 102.5 and 106.3.
A gutty performance. Do your job.
And the Tigers regain the lead.
The Game.
A Cromwell media station.
Covering your teams and the news of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase.
Who is pleasant to listen to.
With Caroline Fenton, Willie Donick, and former NFL wide receiver Derek Mason.
You are hands down my favorite radio personalities of all time.
On 102.5 and 106.3, The Game, and the Game Nashville app.
With no further ado,
Caroline, Willie, and D-Mase, final hour of the week that we handed off. Caroline is pinch hitting for Jared today, so she will be on at 2 for Stillman and Company. Be ready for that. Derek Mason, Willy Donick here with you. And we're going to talk a little hockey here in this segment. Nick Keyser behind the glass. And we're calling upon Robbie Stanley, hockey aficionado, co-host Robbie and Rex Road in the morning here on 102.5 The Game. So, Robbie, dilemma for you, hockey fan, with the 4 overtime game last night. I was in one of those weird, kept falling asleep, kept waking up, game still going on. I'm hearing Kenny Albert in the background, and I'm like, it's still going. It's still going. And then so I kind of get back into it, and I'm like, oh, this is going to go to a 5th overtime. And then, sure enough, Matthew Tkachuk scores, it ends. But 6th longest game in NHL history last night. How long did you last, knowing that your show started about 20 minutes after the game ended?
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I made it to about the 2nd overtime, and then I figured I'd wake up the next morning. And, I mean, Willie, the good news is I almost woke up, and the game was almost still going on. I didn't miss it by that much when I had to wake up, but I only made it a couple overtimes.
You could have had live updates of the 8th overtime as your show started. All right, now, Robbie, another thing that we do on the show on Friday, D-Mase has his dad jokes. Mm-hmm. It's Dad Joke Friday with D-Mase. So we want you to be the judge. You know, thumbs up, thumbs down on Derek's latest one. Derek, you ready?
You ready, Robbie?
I'm ready.
All right. What did the ocean say to the shore?
Oh, boy, what?
Nothing. It just waved.
No! Please, no!
Yes. Hey, listen, 2026 Zanies. I'm there, headlining. What did you give me, 9 out of 10?
9 out of 10. Oh, pretty good.
That was a good one. You can have that one, Willie. You can take that one.
Put it in the file.
Yes.
Put it in the file. Robbie approves.
There we go.
Robbie, you got to have these dad jokes, these days.
Robbie, you going to need them.
Like, D-Mase, I might need to consult you here in a few weeks. I got to come up with a few of my own.
All right, so Robbie, we were having some fun with this. I didn't know what was going on. I see everybody up in arms. Something that Jared said. I'm like, well, okay, this is my regular Thursday. Something that Jared said.
Yeah, something else.
What I didn't know is that somebody said, actually Joe started this. The whole thing with the Admirals. Joe went on the rant. Why would you pay attention to the results? So I was a little baffled, only because in normal circumstances, we don't really, sweat it too much if the minor league team is winning or not. But these are pretty unique circumstances for the Admirals, right? Fair to say.
I think that's fair to say. And, I mean, look, I think it's pretty obvious. Like, the reason that a lot of people around here care is because half the Admirals team was on the Predators at the end of the year, right? I mean, There's Evangelista, there's Tomasino, there's Stasny, there's Afanasiev. I mean, I can go up and down the list of guys who played for the Predators. And look, I think the main reason people care is because, one, they've gotten to know these prospects a little bit, and they're interested to see how they do. And number two, like, this is the first time in a long time that there's been no playoff hockey for the Predators to deal with. So, a lot of people haven't watched, a hockey game in person or a team that they were invested in over a month at this point. So, look, I mean, I get the crux of what Joe is saying. Like, I don't know how many people are living and dying by the result of the Milwaukee Admirals playoff game, but I understand that this is a pretty different situation than we're normally used to with Milwaukee, given how many guys actually played for the Predators this year.
And don't you think people understand that there's a lot riding on how well these guys do at the next level? So I can understand a lot of curiosity. You want to see Joakim Kemmel score a big goal. You want to see Evangelista have a big playoffs. Barry Trotz said on your show how important it was to him to see Milwaukee have success.
Yeah, I mean, I think the term that he used was serial winners. That's what he's looking for, is serial winners. And, look, does it mean if these guys in Milwaukee go on to win the Calder Cup, does it mean that they're automatically going to come up to Nashville and that things are going to go great and that this is the next core that's going to lead the Predators to a Stanley Cup? No, I mean, it doesn't mean that. But is that a good sign if these guys are together and playing that well and playing meaningful hockey games that lead to winning and learning how to play in high-pressure moments? I think it is. Like, I think that can pay off for them later. So, they still got a lot of work to do. This is a good Texas team. The funny part about this conversation, Willie, is I'm a guy that kind of keeps up with the Admirals all year long and likes to, watch them every now and then, but certainly keep up with how they're doing. So it's kind of funny that this conversation is taking place just because I love hockey so much. I've always, kind of kept up with Milwaukee, but it's just really interesting to me, the conversation around it right now. But, I do think there is value to, if you could put together a deep playoff run together, be that at the NHL level or even at the AHL level, I think that could pay off for you later. And I think Barry Trotz knows that too, and I think that's why this run is important to them.
Would you, with that being said, Robbie, would you be a little bit concerned? It's great if they can get on this run and ultimately, win it. But would you be concerned, too, about the potential fatigue that they got to turn right back around and eventually in the next couple of months hop into, the Predators training camp and kind of work their way through the roster?
I think it's a really interesting question, D-Mase. My original reaction to it is no, just given their age. I mean, look, guys, I'm only 30, and it seems like 20 or 21 years old was forever ago for me. Mm-hmm. But I remember I felt a whole lot better in 20 and 21 than I feel right now. And I think these guys will recover well. But the other side of that, D-Mase, is they've never done this before. A lot of these guys, this is their first year in pro hockey, and they've never gone through not only the grind of just an AHL schedule, but a lot of these guys have gone AHL up to the NHL, back down to the AHL, and are playing playoff hockey and could be playing into May or June. So it's a really long schedule, and I think it is going to be really interesting to see how they let their bodies recover and maybe not try to rush back into things too soon this summer as they're trying to heal.
Now, let's talk about the Nashville Predators, because we haven't had you on since, you guys talk with Trotzy about, Hines and his future moving forward. He hasn't been definitive on whether Hines has come back. Some things he has said has been encouraging, but he haven't given a stamp on, hey, listen, Hines is our guy. He's coming back, and we're moving forward with him. Are you surprised? One, are you surprised that he hasn't? And then two, do you expect one pretty soon here?
I am surprised that he hasn't. Look, I'll be honest with you. I thought when the original press conference took place, and it was Barry Trotz, David Poile, and John Hines, and I may have even said it on the show that day, when I saw that John Hines was going to be with those two guys, that kind of signaled to me that he was coming back next year. And I thought that, if they were going to fire him, why would they trot him up there in the press conference? But then in the press conference, when Trotz was asked about him, and he talked about, the evaluation, and he's under contract, and that evaluation is going to take place, that took me by surprise. When I asked him last week about the status of John Hines, and he gave essentially the same answer about how he was still under evaluation, that was a big eye-opener to me. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of reading the situation right now, and it's gotten to the point just with me personally, and I'm not reporting anything, but this is just my gut. It's gotten to the point with me personally where I would be surprised at this point if John Hines is back. I think if Barry Trotz got through that original process and he wanted John Hines to be back, I think we'd know that by now, and I think he would be back. I think that Barry Trotz could have his eye on a guy or two in particular. Now, if that doesn't work out, if plan A doesn't work out, maybe there's a plan B that involves John Hines coming back after that. But, again, that's not reporting anything, just my speculation. I would be surprised if Hines is back at this point.
It is interesting how long this process is taking. You wonder, there are some things still out there in the ether that they're taking a look at here. All right, before we let you go, Robbie, your thoughts on the Western Conference Final. Two teams that really look good against the Predators, in particular. That's what I think about when I watch the Stars in Vegas. They look very good when they played Nashville for the most part. I think Nashville had one combined win against the two teams. So I'm not really surprised that they've made it this far. One great juicy storyline, too. Pete DeBoer, fired by Vegas last year, now gets to coach against Vegas for a spot in the Stanley Cup Final. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff. And I think this is going to be a great series. And, Vegas has been the best team in the West all year long. They finished with the best record in the West. And I look at Dallas, Willie, and tell me whether or not you agree. I don't think Dallas has a weakness. I really like Jake Ottinger in goal. I think they've got a really good defense core, and they do enough offensively where I think they're really dangerous. Pavelski's been great so far. Roope Hintz has been great so far, and you still have Jamie Benn and Jason Robertson and Tyler Seguin. They got a lot of really good pieces there. So I'm really excited about this series. I'm taking Dallas in 7 games in this series. I think it's going to be an epic series. I think Vegas is really good. Jack Eichel played really well in the last series against Edmonton. The one question I have about Vegas right now is how's their goaltending going to hold up with, Aiden Hill and Brossoit going down in the last series and all that stuff. But I'm going to go with Dallas in a 7-game series. I think they win on the road in Game 7 in Vegas.
Yep, your goaltending, philosophical question is being tested here with Bobrovsky playing out of his mind. He actually is playing like a $10 million goaltender now, and Vegas with the musical chairs, 4 or 5 different guys playing, one guy who hadn't played in a couple months. There's all of a sudden center stage. Will he get exposed in this round? We will find out. But, Robbie, thanks a lot for joining us, and enjoy yourself over the weekend. We'll talk to you again very soon.
Thanks, boys. D-Mase, keep me up to date on those dad jokes.
Okay.
Absolutely, I will.
We got one on the way out from Jared. Why couldn't the pony sing?
Uh-oh. Why is that?
Why couldn't the pony sing?
Because he couldn't get up?
Because it's a little horse.
I like that one. I like that
one. Jared and Dixon.
I like that one.
Shout out from D-Mase. Okay, there's one for the file, Robbie.
Right.
Nice job. All right. When
we come, 10.
We'll come back with more. We're going to get D-Mace's other part of the Titans question of the day. We're taking the day off from Will Levis, okay? We're giving it a break. We're not done talking about him. Today, we're taking a break. We're talking Titans defense when we come back. Stay tuned.
All the big plays.
Tannehill, entering right up the middle. Touchdown, Tennessee.
All the big stories.
The Titans' window to contend is however long Derrick Henry stays Derrick Henry.
All in one place. We are Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3.
Gets it back and scores.
Execution was good.
They have not found their groove.
It's always great to win in this league. It's tough to win.
The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Happy Friday to everybody. Friday is here, so I know it's a great day for all of you. But I'm talking to my men right now, and I need to tell you something about Cool Springs MD. Over the years, more men have started to seek help for hormone deficiencies and imbalances. And Dr. Jeffrey Lodge, along with his wife Daphne and that experienced staff, will give men the treatment required to improve their quality of life. Cool Springs MD services have already helped many men of Brentwood, Nashville, and the surrounding areas in Tennessee with improving their immune systems, energy levels, cognitive functions, and more. They are there to connect you with the medical care you require to have a healthy and enriched life. So there's no better time now to achieve a healthy lifestyle. Men, what are you waiting for? Get Dr. Jeffrey Lodge and Cool Springs MD a call today for an appointment. Hey, man, we got to take care of ourselves just like we got to take care of our families. So in order to do that, you need to call Cool Springs MD. Here's the number, 615-486-3458. That's 615-486-3458, or visit our website at coolspringsmd.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Do you have a VA loan? In this housing market, homeowners with VA loans have access to a ton of instant cash. Hey, Willy Donick here. Do you need cash to pay off credit cards and other high-interest loans? How does a check for 80 or 90 grand sound right now? Loan Pronto is helping veterans every day get the money they need with a quick and easy zero-cost cash-out refi with zero closing costs. With a VA loan, it's really cool because you can access up to 100% of your home's value. That's 100%. Use that money to pay off credit cards, home equity, equity lines, car loans. Consolidate all your payments into one check per month and close in 2 weeks. Most homeowners who do this end up cutting their overall monthly payments by $800. And Loan Pronto's all-digital process makes it fast and easy. They're doing loans with super low APRs, and they love working with veterans. Call now. See what your options are. Call Loan Pronto, 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780, or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Want to weigh in on the conversation? It's a brain booster. Slide into our DMs. Or just text or call at 615-737-1025. Our phone line is driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Having some fun in the midday.
Okay, that's really fun.
This is Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase.
It's a good source of energy because it's live.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey, we got some good action tonight on the radio in our little family of stations. The Nashville Sounds at 5:35 can be heard on 94.9 The Fan. Sounds are taking on the Durham Bulls. Nuke LaLoosh on the mound for the Bulls tonight. That's not actually true, but hey, you can imagine that he is. AAA affiliate of the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays are pretty good last I checked. Even though my Mets finally woke up, beat them 2 out of 3. Maybe there's signs of life.
There we go.
Up in Flushing.
Hopefully.
Meanwhile, the Sounds are going to wrap up their series this weekend on Saturday at 5:35 and Sunday at 12:05. Sounds Baseball on 94.9 The Fan, presented by 312 Pizza, Farm Bureau Health Plans, and Family Leisure. Meanwhile, on the game tonight, Nick, tell us the particulars of the Milwaukee Admirals.
Yeah.
Game 4 tonight, correct?
Yeah, Game 4 tonight. They're in Texas. There will be an if necessary game on Sunday. They'll play at the same time at 7 o'clock. I believe we'll be airing each game that they have remaining. So I don't know about the following rounds if they do make it that far. Now, what they did have go for them last game was Isaac Ratcliffe's 2 goals, and it was fun catching up with him. He's a young guy. He was traded from the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, Willie, and I asked him how he found out about the trade, and he was getting off the bus on a road trip, and he got a phone call from their assistant GM, and then he heard from Scott Nickel. And then he said that he was excited because Scott was happy that they were getting him. So it was fun to hear from him. Aaron Sims has been on the call. He's done a fabulous job. If you want to listen to any of those games, we've got you covered. If you don't want to pay the $30 I think it costs to watch the games, then Aaron Sims has you covered right here on 102.5 The Game. And I think the biggest thing for them, Willie, was I think Carl Taylor said it best. They're cool, calm, and collective, and that's what they've got to do moving forward. It was fun listening to some of the game and what Carl had to say post-game, but they look good. And I think that the Admirals fan base has been pretty prominent on Twitter the last 24 hours or so, I would say. But I think that they are poised to have a good run tonight. I didn't know this rule. This was new to me. Apparently, you can't have over 3 guys dressed that have played over 320 games in their career at the AHL level. You have to scratch guys that have played an X amount of games. So that was interesting. That's probably why Isaac got to play the other night. So I didn't really know about that, but I thought that was a fun little stat. So, yeah, the Admirals, if they do win tonight, they will go to the Western Conference Final. It will be the 3rd time since they joined the AHL that they have gotten that far, and they have only won the championship 1 time back in 2004.
Yep, so we'll see if they can get the next step tonight. That is an interesting mix of how you win at that level. You need older guys who may not be great NHL prospects, but they're really good at that level, the old 4A kind of guy that you hear in baseball terms, plus the exciting young players that have everybody's attention because we got a chance to see them here in Nashville. So Game 4 coming up tonight. All right, D-Mase, your question of the day. Guys who, if you waved a magic wand and they had a breakout season for the Titans, could make a big, big difference. We had our offensive players earlier today. We recognize Andre Dillard, and your other guy was Kyle Phillips.
Yes.
On the offensive side. I kind of went the same way. I went Chigakonkwo, and I went Nicholas Petit-Frere. Now, on defense, who's your number 1 pick? Who's the breakout guy? Now, other than the obvious.
Other
right?
than the obvious, Simmons.
So we're taking
and
away
Byer.
Big Jeff.
Yeah, we got to take away Jeff and Byer. We just assume those guys. they're going to have good seasons. Now, they've already had their breakout seasons. Now, if they have a season that's a career season, they can have that. But we know what we're going to get out of those two guys. Damn good play. But for me, because of the guys that they lost, and I think the biggest loss was the inside backer. Why am I forgetting his name?
David Long.
Yeah, David Long Jr. That was a big loss, and we understand a little bit probably why they didn't re-sign him because of the injury history, and we know how Vrabel feels about soft tissue injuries. It's like we can't have them. That was one of his sort of pet peeves. So they go out and they sign Azeez Al-Shaair from Tampa. Now, I mean, not from Tampa, but San Francisco. Now, 2 years ago in 2021, 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago, he had a sort of a breakout year for him. He had a total of 102 tackles. 58 of those were solos, 2 sacks, and everything else. But also in that season, he missed 4 games. Well, 3. But in 22, he missed 4 because they went to 17 games. So he's been known to miss some games here and there. But when he's on the field, he's more than a capable playmaker for a team. So they went out and got him because of the player, David Long Jr., they ended up losing. So to me, they have to replace not just that production, but that ability to cover backs out of the backfield, that ability to go sideline to sideline, because David Long Jr. had the speed. He played to run well. He can play backs out of the backfield. He was one of those guys that was a 3-down linebacker. Azeez has to be that guy for this defense. We know what we're going to get out of Jeffrey Simmons. We know what we're going to get out of Kevin Byard. We know what we're going to get out of Denico Autry. We hope that Harold Landry is almost back to what he was prior to the injury. I'm not expecting him to. I think it's going to be either toward the end of the season into next season where he will become Harold Landry that we saw before the knee injury. But because of that, I think Azeez has to come in and solidify himself as that inside backer. They need a 3-down backer. They need him to be the guy that he was for San Francisco 2 years ago when he was everywhere on the field. That's why they brought him in here. Rand Carthon knows him well. He's seen him play. He understands him. So they get him from San Fran. He's a plug-and-play guy, but they need him to step up big because behind him, they don't have much behind him. They don't have the depth at the backer position behind him, so they need a guy like that to have I call it a breakout season. Well, the breakout season for the Titans.
Yeah.
Because I think his breakout season was 2 years ago.
Okay.
For San Fran. But he needs to have a breakout season for the Titans. They need to have the ability to have him play 3 downs, to be able to rush the passer, and also to play in the pass game when they need him to, whether it be cover a back out of the backfield, cover a slot in the middle. He has to have that versatility, and I believe if he does, it allows them to do so much more from a defensive standpoint.
All right, there's one of D-Mase's 2 Titans defensive players that need to have a breakout season. It would make a big, big difference for the team. Our game studio, sponsored by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Part 2 is coming up, and don't forget, a brand new segment on the show coming up at 1:45 called Take It to the Bank, brought to us by our brand new sponsor, F&M Bank. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more.
The offseason is in full swing, but there's no slowing down ESPN's Teron Davenport.
The flow of information.
He talks the talk.
Spears gives you that guy that can still hit the home run.
And walks the walk.
As a run blocker, he's going to murder a linebacker at the second level.
On everything Titans, TD is on Mondays at 1, Thursdays at 3, Friday mornings at 8, and anytime on the Talkin' with TD podcast. TD is on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is time, my friends, for you to bring that big bet energy this summer with Superbook Sports. Superbook is the most trusted name in sports betting. It's why I use them. It's why it's my favorite. And right now, check this out. You can use the promo code THEGAME to score up to $250 with their first bet bonus. Win or lose. It's that simple. They will match your first bet up to $250 with the promo code THEGAME. Just remember to put that promo code in. All you have to do is visit superbook.com for full terms and conditions, or just download the app, search Superbook Tennessee in the App Store, and get to going. Get to betting. Create your account. It takes less than 5 minutes. Deposit your money. That's a simple process, and then you're ready to rock. Singles, parlays, futures, doesn't matter. It's all right there. Enter the promo code THEGAME, and you'll get $250 courtesy of Superbook Sports on your first bet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Keep listening to 102.5 The Game for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Dave Matthews Band at Bridgestone Arena, Friday, May 26th, courtesy of Green Trees Company Dispensary. Listen for your cue to text to win DMB tickets from The Game and our friends at Green Trees Company Dispensary.
How can a half-carat diamond magically grow into a 2-carat diamond? With Genesis Diamond's 110% diamond upgrade guarantee.
Our trade-up policy is the best in the United States.
That's Stasia at Genesis, explaining how if you buy a diamond today and want to trade it in for a bigger one next year, Genesis always gives you back your original purchase price plus an extra 10%.
We will gladly give you every single penny you paid for the diamond plus an extra 10%, which is amazing. No one does that.
As a real-life example, take Stasia's customer Paul.
When he first started, he got a half-carat, and then as he became more successful, we rewarded him. He came in and he got a 3/4 carat, and then he's traded for a carat. I'm sure I'll see him this year for a carat and a half. As they grow and change and become more successful, their engagement ring can grow with them also.
And there's no catch, no minimum trade-up requirement, and it works on diamond studs and diamond pendants as well.
You get every single investment dollar you put into the diamond, you will get an extra 10% towards the new diamond.
Genesis Diamonds and luxury pre-owned Rolexes.
You can trade as many times as you wish.
Continuously voted best jewelry store and best place to buy an engagement ring. Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Bar Lines in the Omni Nashville Hotel stays true to the spirit of Music City, the perfect spot for sports and arena concert fans year-round. Savor Bar Lines Originals, the Bar Line Barbecue Burger or Midtown Mushroom Swiss Burger. Excite your taste buds with the Sobro Grinder with smoked turkey, the Boss Hog with whiskey braised pork butt, and the Angry Chicken, pickle brine fried chicken breast with honey sriracha. Attending an event downtown? Bar Lines in the Omni Nashville Hotel, open daily at 11 a.m. is a great way to kick off your afternoon or evening.
Go guys, a wrister. Score! The Predators of tomorrow continue in the AHL playoffs with Game 4. Admirals and Stars starts at 6, then check out Game 1 of the Western Conference Final as the Dallas Stars head to Vegas.
On your home for Smashville, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey Nashville, Trey Wingo here. You're listening to Nashville's best sports talk, ESPN 102.5 The Game.
Yes, that was Jared reading the promo for the Admirals game after the fine preview that our co-worker Nick just broke down for you. Isaac Ratcliffe and company. And if you know who Isaac Ratcliffe is, you are into this final, which is perfectly fine in the US of A, in this town. If you want to follow your team's affiliate. Perfectly fine, right? Nick, this is a free country.
Yes,
right?
it is. Look, fans
and you can feel good about it. You
fans
can feel
have
good
a certain
about
way, and look, you and Chris do a good job with getting everyone devoted on the broadcast. You know, our staff does a good job here. I'm behind the board for Preds games. Look, you can be entitled, and you can have a certain feeling about our prospects here. So that's okay. But anyway, life goes on.
We digress. We've got to take it to the bank coming up at 1:45. We're going to have some fun with that. But D-Mase is breaking down some guys on the defensive end for the Titans who he's looking for breakout season. Breakouts are so important. I think of a breakout as a guy that has been in there, he's been with the team, but if he could make a jump, how big that is. With your salary cap, you know, that's how you build a good roster, is you get some guys who develop and break out. So one guy I circled, and you and I agree on this, we both had this guy circled, is Christian Fulton. Yes. I just feel like there's another level there. When he has played, he's shown the ability to be a very good corner. If he could, A, stay healthy, but B, keep developing a little bit. He's still pretty young. I see sort of a guy you could anchor your – you never have enough good cover people, right? You got to have a lot of people who can cover people, right? But if he could be your ace – we talked about it in the first hour of the show, seating everybody on the right seat of the bus. To me, if he could be that lead driver among the corners, that would be huge.
Yeah, it's been and I'm trying to think back. It's been a minute since the Titans had that guy at the corner position. I'm trying to.
Like you go way back, Samari Rolle was a guy.
Samari,
Cortland Finnegan, I thought had a few years where he was a guy like that.
Pac-Man could have been. He wasn't. He just could have been. But whatever happened, happened.
We're not going to go.
Yeah, we're not going to go down that road.
It's too long of a story.
But he could have been that guy as well. I'm trying to think. After Cortland, McCourty was really good. I thought McCourty was really good at the corner position. But after McCourty, it seems like they've been trying to really find that one guy. They brought guys in that sort of kind of did a good job, but wasn't here long enough. So you're right. I think, Fulton needs to come in and one, he needs to stay healthy. But then two, he needs to take that next step to solidify himself as the Titans' number one corner. Because as you know in this league, and you said it, you can never have enough good corners in this league with the way that teams are throwing out 3, 4, 5 wide receivers at multiple times. So you got to have close to that many guys that can come out and cover. Another guy that I believe needs to have a good season is Sean Murphy-Bunting, who they got from Tampa, former second-round draft pick, had a good rookie year, but then after that, I don't know what happened. Cause obviously, I didn't follow him, but it seems like his production, his production went down. He missed some games 2 years ago. He missed a handful of games, but the Titans thought enough of him that they signed him to a free agent deal. He needs to come in and truly, if he can push McQuarrie or Moden for a spot as a starter, then that would be good for the Titans, because to me, as good as McQuarrie played outside at times last year, I think he's more suited for the inside. I think you will get, again, sort of like Peter. He can play outside, and he may be really good outside at the tackle, but I think his natural position, if you want longevity and great play, he's a guard. Sort of like, to me, with McQuarrie. If you want the most out of him, put him in a slot. I guarantee you, more than not, he's going to be one of the better slot cover corners in the league.
So if you put him there as your main slot guy, where does that leave Molden? Because that's an interesting one. I had Molden on my list as well because he kind of had a lost season.
Well, he has to get healthy too.
That's the thing. That's the same thing for a lot of these guys, really, especially on the defensive end, but it was offense as well last year. So many guys just derailed their season with injuries. 2 years ago, I thought Elijah Molden was turning into a guy that you could count on, and he's going to be a part of the defense for 3-4 years. Which is a fairly long time to project for draft picks, but that's ideal. That you get a guy, he's got a role, he's good. He struggled a little bit his rookie year, but by the end of that rookie year, he was good. And then last year, he was a non-factor. It just nothing. Could never get healthy enough to really get in a groove.
Yeah, and
so a bounce back from him, and he was in that slot. Like he could blitz a little bit off the slot receiver. He could cover the slot guys well enough. Knew the defense. Good football savvy. So I wonder where he could be if he's healthy.
Well, I think they still believe that he can be a contributor to this team, not just on the defense, but obviously on special teams as well. Because you look at that room and sort of the question mark, the huge question mark is Caleb Farley. Like, will we finally get something out of him this year? Can he stay healthy? And that's nobody knows. Nobody knows.
But if you're really banking on that,
people are leaning more to him.
In our next segment of taking it to the bank, that's not something I'm taking.
I wouldn't take that to the bank. No.
Caleb Farley will not be the subject of the first ever take it to the bank.
No, absolutely.
You can take that to the bank.
But I think Sean Murphy-Bunting, because of his his length and being a 6 foot corner, if he does pick up on his defense very quickly, show some of the promise that he showed his rookie year, and build on it, I think you now can put him and Fulton outside and have McQuarrie or Moten in the inside. Now you have 3 to 4 good corners that you can throw out there at any time. And now you're not so much worried about whether Caleb Farley is going to be able to give you something or not. Because if those 4 guys show up this season and they prove during camp and everything else that they're ready to go, Caleb Farley, if he can't play special teams, he might be the odd guy out. So to me, whether it's Fulton, Moden, or Murphy, these guys, I think more so Murphy, because he's coming into a new situation, if they can get out of him what he showed his rookie year and more, that opens up even more what they can do from a secondary standpoint.
It seems like we're talking about the Titans offense about 10 times for every time we're talking about the defense, but really the way that this team could be good
is their defense.
Is it's got to be a really good defense. It's got to be a top 10 defense.
Yes.
And I think if everything clicks, then they could be really good. A ferocious Jeffrey Simmons, a rebounding Danico Autry, a resurgent Harold Landry. These are all, to a degree question marks, but you could see it, right? It's not that much of a stretch, especially if you have a really tough, strong front four. As we've said many times, that makes everybody's jobs easier. And then you got Byard, presuming that doesn't blow up, right? That they figure that out. Either they're like, okay, just play for the hit,
just play it.
Keep the contract as is. We're going to eat the money. You play, and we'll see what happens after that. But we still wonder if that's going to happen. But if you got Byard back there and you got a strong front four, and these other guys we're talking about, you get a couple breakouts here and there, and you get good secondary play, got yourself a good defense.
Yeah, you do.
You're going to be in games.
And you know what the defensive front can do, led by Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry, Tier Tart, those guys.
Tier Tart's a nice
you
piece.
You throw Arden Key in there, and you hope he can continue to play.
You got Weaver in there.
Exactly. So this front seven, you believe, can be a really good front seven, which in terms, if those guys in the back end can stay healthy, if Fulton could play, injury free, if Moten could come back, if Murphy Button shows that, he can really immerse himself in this defense and learn, then McQuarrie, you throw him inside. So this defense has the making of being a top 10 defense. But, these guys that are normally injured, they just got to stay healthy for that to happen. And then the new faces got to pick up on the defense very quickly.
All right, when we come back, we're going to introduce a brand new segment called Take It to the Bank. We're having a little fun, and D-Mase will have his final dad joke of the day, or jokes. Yes. We'll see how strong he feels about the down the stretch here. Ending the show with the bang. Will it be a 9 out of 10? Robbie Stanley gave him very high marks.
Absolutely.
I thought your best joke still was the opening joke of the day. It really got the show off.
I did like the first initial.
There were some strong ones, and our listeners have had some good ones as well. So we're going to have a fun last segment here before Caroline takes over. She's filling in for Jared today. But let me tell you about where Take It to the Bank is coming from. It's a brand new sponsor called F&M Bank. You've heard me talking about them all week. They're right here in our listening area. They're all about community. They're all about you, the customer. Banking made easy on purpose is their motto. And that means whether you're just, a newlywed, or you're just getting out of college, you're just getting settled and figuring out your finances, and do I need a financial advisor? It can be kind of overwhelming at different times. But banking made easy on purpose is what F&M Bank is all about. And they're part of the community. They're on Main Street in a lot of the towns. In fact, visit one of their 20 locations. They got 20 locations throughout Middle Tennessee and up into southern Kentucky. You can go online at myfmbank.com and find out the location that's nearest you, whether it's West End Avenue or Main Street in Mount Juliet, Main Street in some other towns here. That's kind of the theme. They want to be part of the community. They are there to serve you. It's banking made easy on purpose with F&M Bank. You can take it to the bank in the next segment. We're going to, on a Friday, have a little fun with it. Stay tuned. Our final segment of the weekend, or the week, is coming up.
He knows the ins and outs of the Titans and isn't afraid to give his opinion.
Traylon Burks needs a massive offseason.
He's Jonathan Hutton of Outkick.
I don't see how they make a move without going to Ryan Tannehill.
Catch him every Monday at 10:30 on Chase and Michelle, and every Wednesday at noon on Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase. Hutton is on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Family Leisure's 31st Memorial Day sale.
DIY pools start at just $19.99. 24-foot pools are only $29.99 installed. 6 months, same as cash.
Great prices on spas and hot tubs. The Cypress Spa by Strong is only $29.99.
I want some new patio furniture. Family Leisure has hundreds of sets on sale.
The Sabre infrared grill starts at only $11.99. Complete Bull Grill Island start at only $39.99. Installed with a Sabre grill head. Tanning beds, pool tables, massage chairs on sale now.
Family Leisure, 2 huge locations, Antioch and Franklin.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Hi, this is Jamie from Souls for Souls. I hope you can join us on June 7th at Hermitage Golf Course for the 2nd annual Music City Celebrity Golf Tournament. We've partnered with 1025 The Game to provide shoes to students experiencing homelessness right here in Nashville. Go to thegamenashville.com for more information and to register.
Bundling and saving with Geico is an easy choice, so you're free to ponder life's big questions, like what's the best animal in the world if not humans? I'd strongly consider ducks to be somewhere up there on the list. Think about it. Ducks can swim, ducks can fly, and ducks can walk on land. They have access to all terrains. They are the ultimate animal. And they wiggle their butts when they walk, which is funny. Yeah, ducks are awesome. End of story. Bundling and saving with Geico. It's an easy choice.
Imagine you're looking at a balancing scale with everything you do for other people on one side and everything you do for yourself on the other side. If it isn't balanced, maybe it's time to spend a little more time on you. And therapy is a great place to start. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can help you find that balance and stick to it. Visit BetterHelp.com/score to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/score.
He's got big takes.
It's not that freaking hard. Hand the ball to Henry.
Small takes.
You have to defend your decision.
But all takes.
They win, they lose. Just invested a lot into this game. It was the worst press conference.
He is Jared Stillman.
I guess I'm just not a very good coach, Jared.
Weekdays from 2 to 6 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. Having some fun in the midday.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This is Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
All right, we're coming down the home stretch here. And with that in mind, let me just tell you about Nashville's best deal of the week. It's for Bavarian Beer House at Opry Mills. Bavarian Beer House, Nashville's only authentic German beer hall. It's a place full of fun, food, music, and most importantly, beer. Beer. Enjoy traditional German bratwurst, schnitzel, giant pretzels, and more, including beer. Go to thegamenashville.com/deals, and you can get a $50 gift card for $25 to the Bavarian Beer House while supplies last. All right, D-Mase. All right, Nick. It's time for our first ever Take It to the Bank. Now, Caroline's going to miss out on our first one, but she's coming up at 2 o'clock. Mm-hmm. She'll be a part of this when we get going on this. Each Friday, we're going to sort of end the week with something to look for the weekend that you can take to the bank. And it's brought to you by F&M Bank. Customer, community, F&M Bank. Banking made easy on purpose. All right, D-Mase, I know where you're going. It's going to be to the hardwood. Yeah. It's going to be out in Tinseltown. It's going to be the Lakers. So tell me what you're taking to the bank.
What is it called? Crypto.com arena now?
Yes.
They didn't change it about 3 or 4 times since I've been,
well, that's the thing. It hadn't changed for a long time.
Well, the Forum and then the Staple.
Right. They've changed buildings. But it was the Staples Center for so long. Exactly. And now Crypto
dot something dot whatever. Yeah. Okay. So this is my take it to the bank, people. This is my take it to the bank as Caroline walks in. My take it to the bank is that the Lakers, not only will they win Saturday, but AD and one LeBron James Jr., well, no, just LeBron James. I gave him a junior. But LeBron James, the king, both of them will have 30 pieces. Both will have a 30-piece. Yes, they will. AD will have 30 and 10.
That's cap.
And Brown will have 30 10-9. Damn near a triple-double. He might have a triple-double, okay? But both guys, they will have 30 pieces. If you don't know what 30 pieces is, that's not 30 pieces of chicken. It's not 30 pieces of Skittles. It's not 30 pieces of, I don't know.
Reese's
Pieces. It's not 30 pieces of that. It's 30 points, okay? 30 pieces, 30 points, people. And LeBron James, the king, and AD, the brow, will put up a 30 piece. Both of them.
30 pieces, one brow.
Absolutely. There we go.
Okay.
And a king.
Take it to the bank. D-Mase likes the Lakers in Game 3. All right, Nick, give me what you got.
Okay, so we obviously have the Admirals coming up here at 7 p.m. tonight on 102.5 The Game, and an if-necessary game on Sunday at 7 p.m., also here on 102.5 The Game. So they are on the cusp of making it to the Western Conference Final. I will say that Joakim Kimmel will probably score the game-winning goal tonight, and I think Yaroslav Askarov gets a shutout.
Ooh.
You said probably. No, that's take it to the bank, man. There ain't no probably in it. Oh, I probably may go to. No, I am going. All right? Probably LeBron scores 30 points. No, LeBron will score 30 points. Take it to the bank. Come on, Nick.
I mean, Joakim Kimmel scoring a goal is more than likely to happen than LeBron scoring 30.
But can we take it to the bank?
Can you take it to the bank?
Take it to the bank.
All right,
All right, now we got him in there.
Come on, staff member.
He likes the young man Kimmel, the first Predator draft pick last summer. So he's done well. Super young. He scored in the last game. That's a guy to keep your eye on if you're following the president. Askarov, now, if he gets the shutout, what else can you take to the bank? Is he going to do the push-ups?
Oh, yeah, that's
the bench
right.
Press
he does the bench press.
Or will he at least throw the goal cage down? He's got flair.
I think it would be his first career postseason shutout. I don't think he had a shutout in the first round.
We talked about props earlier in the show. Like, Askarov is maybe the closest thing to the prop.
Oh yeah, I would say so. Did you see what
the goal as a prop?
Did you see what someone made for him the other day? Someone made him a little doll that looks just like him. And
they did. I did see that.
And the admin posted a photo of him. So yeah,
need some water over that dial first before I take it home.
All right, I'm going to take to the bank one for fun and one, that we'll have to do together. I'm going to say that Nikola Jokic will have another triple-double. You can absolutely take it to the bank. I'm not saying they're going to win Game 3, but the guy is doing unbelievable things in the categories of triple-double. We're talking about stuff that hasn't even happened in regular seasons. Like Oscar Robertson is like the granddaddy of
he's a walking triple-double.
Triple-double achievements, right? He's incredible. Jokic is in this category now.
Of course.
He's sneaking up. Last night he, quote, only had 23 points, but he had 17 rebounds and 12 assists. He's not just getting barely in there. He's easily getting.
Of course.
He's going to have the 10 rebounds.
He will have that before halftime.
Absolutely. Yeah. And he's going to have double-digit points. That's a piece of cake. It's just a matter of whether he's going to get 30.
Yeah.
And assists, the way he passes, I just feel like you can take it to the bank. Jokic, triple-double. The other thing you can take to the bank is that at least 3 times during the broadcast, Jeff Van Gundy is going to say, what is taking so long on this? Why is this taking so long, this review? Can we not stop having all these reviews?
Well, I know you're right.
I do love how he points things out about the officiating and sometimes where the reviews just is, why are we reviewing this?
Flagrant foul wasn't a flagrant foul.
Yeah,
but
right.
But then Hachimura gets hit in the head again, a wind up, and they don't call a flagrant foul. It's like, seriously, come on.
And also, you can take to the bank at least one great flop from LeBron.
Okay, I'm not going to dispute
He had a 10 out of 10 in a flop last night, and the place just went nuts. When they took a while to show it on the Jumbotron, they finally put it up there. You could just hear the whole crowd just go, oh!
Yeah, but Willie, will he miss a dunk tonight?
No.
Or the next game?
You will not take that to the bank. That's not happening. But he will flop one time, and Jeff Van Gundy will say what's on all of our minds about the review process at least twice during the game. So you can take that to the bank.
Take it to the bank. And you know what else you can take to the bank?
Uh-oh.
This dad joke right here.
Oh, gosh.
Right, here we go. What is the loudest pet you can have?
The loudest pet?
Yeah, the loudest pet you can have.
It's not my bulldog, I hope.
The loudest pet that you can have. I don't know.
You don't know? You know?
No.
A trumpet. Yes. Give it to me, people. Give it to me. I told y'all 2026. You know where I'm going to be.
Why is it going to take you till 2026?
I don't know. Maybe they booked up until then. I don't know.
It's a popular place. Okay.
It's a popular place, man. Come on. I'm just trying to get in where I fit in, you know? So I thought that was a good
I thought it was pretty strong balanced day. I thought you didn't have too many dips. Maybe one that was not up to speed, but everything else pretty strong with the third straight installment of Dad Joke Friday.
Absolutely. Once I had a turtle for a teacher. He taught us well.
It never ends. It never ends.
That was a good one.
It never
Come
ends.
on. That was a good one. Come on. Give it up.
Was the hair not smart enough, Derek?
Hey, I'm just telling you. There we go. Boom. Y'all like it, don't y'all? I mean,
We've created a monster on our text line as
coming.
well. So we've got these on file that we can, if you want to check the text line for some material for next week.
I will.
All right, we're coming down the home stretch here tonight. Don't forget, Sounds on 94.9 tonight, Admirals on 102.5. Enjoy the conference finals coming up. Tonight you've got, of course, in the NHL, the Western Conference Finals starts up tonight with two villain teams for the Predators. I mean, man, they are the villains. The Stars and the Golden Knights. You don't want the Golden Knights winning. But how could you root for the Stars? Like, that's what I'm like. I don't like the Stars.
But you got to.
I really don't like the Golden Knights. Like, who do you root for?
Pick?
I don't know. I don't like.
Just throw a dart in the dart.
Yeah. I think the Golden Knights remind me of the purple Cobras from Dodgeball. I don't know why, but they do.
At center, Ben Stiller. Yeah.
That was a funny movie, too.
That's a good movie. That's another one of those movies where the first time you watch it, you're like, what is this?
You got to watch it a few
good?
times.
Is this good? And then you start watching, you're like, okay, yeah.
It gets funny. It gets really funny.
Yeah.
But it's been a great day, man.
Yep. Good Friday.
It's been a great week.
All right. Caroline is coming up, filling in for Jared. She'll be back with the team, her real team. Caroline, Willy, and D-Mase coming up on Monday. Everybody have a great weekend.
Be loved and love on somebody. Peace.
Have a great day, guys. Enjoy the sunshine.
The postseason.